We should be good to go. The only thing I'm missing is yeah, I'm not getting of course, once again, not getting the browser audio. But bygones, I'm pretty sure I'm still getting your guys' voices.
Okay.
Hello.
It has been some time since your last trek to the Feywild. Or it hasn't, one of the two, probably. And having faced and regrettably slain the sister of your late companion in battle, Vale's demands, I think, for all of you, were the final straw. Clad in stolen armor and wielding the spear that had killed a god, Karna Zephyri gave it her all in one final stand before Saigar and Warren cut her down, while Melgar observed. You tried. You had struggled to reason with Valdrax and find some middle ground, but the dragon's ultimatums remained absolute. And finally, he was skipping merrily back to Docus Ur while you stood around the body of the latest person to die because of this forced alliance. Red hair and a red pool. But no more. You had all come to the same conclusion, almost in perfect sync, with Eerie suggesting that his control over time had a chance for redemption here, but only if you could find some way to prevent Karna's mindless final assault. And you came to the conclusion there was only one person who could talk her out of it, and that person was likewise already dead. And so it was time, Galadrin had decided and told you all, that he requested a favor, and for the work that Kyvius had done in the realm of the Fae to pay off. You had returned to the destroyed wreckage of the forest where a Fae crossing once stood, with Melgar just axing open one of the ironwood stumps, and collectively you had climbed down within it as Galadriel performed the ritual that all Eladrin know, the one that would take him home whenever he wanted to do so. And before we begin today, I would like to take a moment to talk to Kyvius, because you had made an edict upon leaving the city.
No, I didn't.
No, I feel like we did do that. Yeah, you had been informed that there were some ships sailing in from the west from some distant continents, and Arxis had gotten very quiet
Yes.
as soon as Vale had interrupted the conversation, and he was more than clear that without your assistance, these sailors from a distant land would never make it through the Howl, as their sails were being shredded by that crystalline residuum dust from the eternal storm.
Yes.
And worse still, their minds were being wiped as the crew fell into delirious unconsciousness. And
yes.
the dragon's response, if he discovered the arrival of outsiders, was sure to be unpredictable.
Yeah.
And you...
But before you go any further, I am serious when I say I believe that I need a reprieve, and I apologize greatly. I made my priority catching up on the session, and I completely forgot about my Kingdom event, even though Josh reminded me last week. And
that is...
I am really, really sorry.
That is okay. I was actually about to finish by saying, not knowing how you would be able to lend your aid to so many people so far from shore, you actually did get a fantastic reprieve in the fact that the group suddenly traveled to the Feywild. However, be aware that even though you are getting, again, a slight delay towards this, it doesn't change the fact that this event is
Something
still
has
going
to
to
be
be
done.
forever
Yes.
looming.
Yes, I apologize.
Okay. But don't worry, because Kyvius, there's another Kingdom event for you today as well.
What the hell?
Yep, this was your week where it's 2 back-to-back.
Should have let your homework pile up.
Okay. Yeah.
So I wanna talk to you some more.
Tomorrow.
So, a simple matter for you, now that you are also the ruler of the kingdom, Kyvius. Again, you're death piling up with shit. The arrival of the Ka slaves. It hasn't seen as much discontent as maybe you feared. It's mostly kind of a beneficial side effect of you having, like, allied yourselves with the pirates Epitaph first. And the protectors, given that they are a majority of pirates now, they have long dealt with the Ka and tend to treat them as equally inferior as the merchants of High Helm. And your general populace has had to deal with the streets being filled with unbathed and shirtless, weapon-wielding braggarts missing most of their teeth, and plotting by night how to best kill a gigantic golden snail. So the arrival of a bunch of meek slaves, many of whom were taken from the outskirt borderland cities in their own lifetimes, this has been a lot easier for people to abide by. This is a matter that you will have to deal with yourself, or perhaps you will choose to delegate it to someone like Warren. There has been talk of possible spies, a couple of incidents of violence when these slaves were arrived and were accused of just waiting to turn on Doku's war when the Ka army arrived. But the biggest problem has been with the Ka refugees themselves. The combination of Stockholm Syndrome and culture shock has been leading them to act very erratically. A report came across your desk the day before departing for the Feywild of a couple of slaves working themselves to death, unable to deal without having the very strict timetable forced upon them by their prior Illumined overlords. And the main report that you got is much more worrisome. It described a couple of incidences where the Ka slaves engaged in a public ritual amputation. One of their number took more of the freely growing food than the other slaves considered to be their share, and without having any illumined lords in place, they took it upon themselves to bloodily delimb this seen offender in the middle of a crowded street. And another was from a young woman who claims that she had offered her spare bedroom as temporary shelter to a young marked man, and he drew a dagger with sad, broken eyes and stated that she would need to become ringed for her kindness. Things are not great, and with both of these issues piling up on your desk, you will have to either resolve them both or delegate them somewhere else.
Okay.
Elgar can make all your problems disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, we do 2 events every single week. So the other one is a problem for the Master of Coin. I will speak about the details over Discord.
So excited.
Yeah, the short version is that one of the racial governors, specifically a gnome by the name of Longfellow, he has been discovered to be taking bribes. And
Again?
for Master of Coin, again, we'll have to decide how to handle this matter without upsetting the rules about how to punish or remove governors.
I think this is like the 4th event with Longfellow.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if Glad, Eerie, Warren, and Saigar could settle on a building, remember that it has to be unanimous, that would be great.
It's a lot of building people.
Yeah, man.
Slavery.
They
I
are
mean,
here already.
There's our kingdom problem solved.
Oh man, now we've got to find
That's
another
a
new
twofer
master
right
of
there.
coin.
Who's our current one now?
Therica.
Oh, right.
And she said no slavery.
I'll just take my old roll back.
It's not slavery.
I
They
mean-
work from themselves.
Here's the thing. We could outvote her.
Vote me back in.
That brings us back to the present. The wafting potpourri of fragrances in the Feywild reminds you of, simultaneously, your first kiss, and also the time that you cried so hard you accidentally tasted your own snot. And before you stands a false approximation of Warren. He saunters forward in light armor, bearing a Ven blade, and behind him, atop an ancient horned basilisk skeleton, is a scantily attired Nuklavi, a type of unseelie fae who reeks of gore, and whose long black nails change length and width as you observe them. They shift back and forth between short little spikes on the end of her fingertips to being like wide claws, like the curved tusks of a walrus that drag across the marrow of the stage.
Goodness
Taisha-
gracious! Is that the Morrigan? It only took you 5 years to catch up with me, eh?
She shouts back to you. Kyvius! Fey thief! Bringer of the black-blooded! Today, in service to the Queen of Air and Darkness, you will die! Metaphorically from humiliation!
Can we just fight? I'm begging you. Can we just hit each other and fight?
Oh, we'll fight all right. We'll fight in the most graceful combat style known to the Fae. Dance! And she strikes a pose.
Tell me this, Melgar. Could Cord envision a greater challenge than this?
Does anybody else?
Testing Melgar's patience, Kyvia? Is that the ultimate challenge?
Is that me?
It shouts back. I bet you didn't think you'd have to fight your own elbow today.
Do I sound like that when I talk?
Worse, somehow.
Yeah, he's kind of handsome. Are you sure he's a clone of you?
I used to be handsome.
Kyvius, don't make this weird.
He knows your name.
I know, that's a little creepy. I don't think I've ever met him.
I mean,
No,
you did tell everyone here your name.
No, I'm you. I've just with a bit of a different accent and both arms. I have all the same memories.
That's
You know me?
unfortunate.
What was that, Melgar?
Do you know me?
I don't know you.
So you don't have all the same memories.
Round 1 to Melgar. I mean, do you guys even want to get into this?
There is a shout from the small, tiny little pixie up on the ledge, and says,
I'm really sorry about this. I need to get my wings, though. I know you understand.
Wait,
Wait, Taisha needs her wings? What's up with that, Iri?
She hasn't had the chance to earn them yet.
You have to earn your wings? Oh, that's awkward.
Wait, can we earn wings?
I mean, I suppose.
Have you
If you
considered
try hard
trying hard enough?
Think of the challenges I could gain when flying.
such as flying.
"Enough talk!" shouts the Morgan, and draws a ridiculous, oversized, Shay orgasm-worthy scythe from just somewhere behind her, and says, "If we are to talk, we will do so cheek to cheek."
Why can't we just fight? That looks like an awesome weapon. I want to hit you with mine.
Can I have everybody please roll initiative?
Now, is dancing initiative different than regular initiative?
It is regular initiative. In addition, while you do so, the Morgan pulls out a piece of paper that she has folded up into what looks like an origami shape, whispers something to it, and then throws it out in the battlefield. And then a moment later produces a small toy of what looks like a headless Doulahan that for some reason kind of reminds you of... God, I'm sorry, what's the name of the actor from Dirty Dancing?
Kevin Bacon?
Patrick Swayze.
Oh, Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. Kind of has that Swayze vibe.
God.
God, I love and hate the Feywild.
That everybody?
I think so.
2 Warrens.
Okay, just gonna adjust initiative real fast.
I mean, we're all 26 now.
God damn it. No, that's the other warrants.
Oh,
That son of a bitch!
he even does your thing. Wait, does he have a bigger bonus too?
Hold on.
No, I think it might be the
Oh,
same.
You're
other-
wild like
damn,
down
I
the
didn't even
hallway.
notice that.
I got up for a second. What a dick. But
Uh, During this battle, before it rolls around to your turn, you'll probably want to have an answer here, but just because, again, it's all about Kyvius torture porn. That's what these sessions are all about. Kyvius, you have been challenged to a dance battle. They are not going to be attacking your AC or your will or your reflex. No. This is a dance-off. I need you to describe to me Kyvius' style of dance and tell me what skill best represents that defense. And that skill bonus is reflected to be your dance AC.
And that
Oh,
skill bonus
my
is going to be
God.
my dance AC. Oh, okay. You know, what's funny is I thought of many forms of dance because I thought we want to change it, but I need to be specific. And so there's really only there's really only one option. It has to be the most dramatic, the most flair, the most sweeping. Kyvius' form of dance are the grand gestures of flamenco. He has a cape. There's a toreador.
Of course.
There's a fighting of the bulls. There is the broad sweeps of his arms and shoulders along with the wide steps that accompany them. It really is very showy and dramatic. And therefore, I believe it would be charisma-based.
Not charisma, but rather the skill.
Oh, the skill!
Yeah.
Shoot.
Obviously charisma-based, but bluff, diplomacy? Do you speak with your hips?
Kyvius' hips don't lie.
It is really good that I don't have a webcam right now, because I'm really into this music.
There's no performance, so I feel like it has to be bluff, because he's emulating the sweeping movements of. Yeah.
So your hips do lie.
So your hips do lie, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, constantly. He can't really help it, though.
Fantastic. Kyvius, knowing that you now have to employ your powers with the flavor of dance, how do you proceed, and which of these 4 targets earns your ire?
So, because of the way... First off, what is this thing that appeared right here? Because I don't remember that.
Last session, you guys bumped into a bunch of headless soldiers. They were called Doulahans. And they are known to serve the Morrigan, who uses them as her own personal warriors on the battlefield between the 2 Fae Queens.
Gotcha. By the way, I have to agree with you. I'm really into this music. It's very distracting how into this music I am.
I had a couple songs, but I don't have them all fucking ready because my thing broke. I'm sorry, it's just the one.
It's too fantastic. Just keep it. I feel like his target for his initial assault on body and mind with Grace has to be the Morrigan because he opened with taunting her in the first place. So his initial steps would be kind of a, come hither, you've wanted this body so bad for 5 years. You're so close, do you think you can get closer?
Oh my god. I regret this already.
So what do I roll? Do I roll anything?
Yeah, make your user a standard power that you would have to flavor.
A standard oh, okay. So it would be. Oh, if it's come hither, then it's the shackles. It's the normal blue shackles of Silduyur. Because I'm just pulling her in. So it'd be 27 versus reflex.
That hits her dance AC, and she like majestically falls to her knees and throws her hair back.
And I guess do other bonuses still apply? So if my sweeping movements take me all the way over here, what do I still become a little ephemeral and have a bonus to my dance AC? Great.
Of course.
Okay.
In addition, when you do this, Warren just quickly does a little shimmy of his own hips as well, and you are so momentarily distracted by the fact that you didn't know your friend could move like that, that part of the flame sort of goes wild.
Can we
can't
keep
do
him?
that. I have to mark someone to do that.
It's true.
He's the better version of you, though. So
Wait, not so
Yeah,
slow.
Yeah.
Tell me about your dance style.
So, Saigar is the exact opposite of Kaivius. He's basically a, call it industrial goth-like dance almost. Very emo, very machine-like, very precision, bare movements. Every movement has a purpose to it.
Oh my
And-
god.
Imagine him almost in not S&M gear, but that kind of stuff. So I would almost think it's almost like a dungeoneering type of role.
You know what? I fucking love that.
Oh my god.
So that'd be a wisdom dungeoneering. So what do I do?
That is just so you know what your AC against their attacks is.
Is it the actual skill bonus? What is it?
Just whatever your skill is in dungeoneering.
Got it. So I have a 15 in dungeoneering.
Okay, so your AC for dance is 15.
Got it. Okay. And then I'm going to target the Morgan. Actually, I take it back. I'm going to use this on both the Dullahan, I guess, and Warren.
Oh my god.
Oh, right. The other me.
That would hit them both, absolutely. Can you describe to me Rain of Arrows in the form of dance?
So I'm basically think of it like Lord of the Dance kind of style almost, but very goth, industrial, punkish. I'm just kind of standing around without taking my eyes off either of them, just keep firing arrows into the air.
I love that. I will have appropriate music for you next round. It does hit them both. I'm reducing health now.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's my turn, sorry.
Okay. I fucking hate the DDR arrows. I had a thing that, of course, I wasn't ready for. I apologize for. Hang on.
Excited.
I'm
Just
I
imagine
am
this
most
happens
excited
every
for
single turn.
Melgar's turn.
Taisha protects her elven companion and dives into the eye of the basilisk, hiding from further harm. Warren, in just looks to all of you and then suddenly drops sort of the jaunty flamenco music, and snapping his fingers, approaches you, Melgar, and then sword out, just begins to headbang as hard as he possibly can. Does 16 hit whatever your dance AC is going to be?
Do I need to describe his dance?
I'd love to. I'd love to know.
So Melgar's he doesn't dance, right? His lore in the Brave Lands is steeped in tradition and history. So what he will do instead is called the ritual of renewal. The ritual of renewal in the Brave Lands is a time of which they take the dead trees and lumber, and because of the cold climate, they would wither and die.
This is awesome to hear with the explanation of the fucking heavy metal music in the background.
Yeah. So they take these seedlings and wrap them in the dead stumps, and to make sure they do not die from frost, they hammer the stumps into the ground until they are level.
I love that. You've
I'm
thought
gonna
about this.
No.
Okay.
Strength.
What
Strength
skill?
isn't a skill.
Oh, athletics?
Athletics works, absolutely. Does that hit your
That doesn't
dance
hit.
AC?
No.
Then, Warren, the second-hand cringe embarrassment that you get from watching this younger self of yours, like, it would be bad normally. In the Feywild, this embarrassment translates into actual physical pain for you, and you take 18 points of damage instead.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
no.
Wait,
Yeah, you do.
We're gonna end up killing War.
We'll see.
Oh yeah, no. Did you see the bonus to his attacks? Like, he's not going to miss very often.
The Morgan also, again, like, sheaths the scythe, hops on down, and just, like, thrusting out her arm in a way that, like, goes out and almost like a horrific impale, pirouettes in a way that is both intimidating and also impossible to tear your eyes away from. I'm going to choose... Fuck, I'm going to say Galadriel since she knows who you are. Be faster in the future, I promise, guys. I'm sorry. And does 26 hit whatever your dance AC is going to be?
Yeah.
Then I need you to roll a d6 for me, please.
All right.
Arthritis or mood swings.
Sweaty
Sweaty
palm.
palms.
Uh-oh, spaghetti.
Can I get a d6?
Yeah, I rolled
Oh,
a
I'm
2.
sorry. It popped up. Yeah, my apologies. Then you obtain sweaty palms. And I'll go ahead and pop that in your inventory.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
So a critical miss is in that one, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
In addition, she doesn't finish her turn that way, but rather, also on you, Galadriel, does 30 hit your dance AC?
Well, if 26 did, I have a feeling 30 might too.
The baton in your hands as your disgusting moist palms begin to sweat into it. It writhes in like extreme discomfort and tries to like get itself away from you. And the baton gains momentarily sentience, and just like a serpent in your hands, does everything it possibly can to flop away.
Man, what a combo.
This is against close burst with everybody within 10, which I'm pretty sure is nobody. So it's going to move one square forward just to hit Eerie and Melgar. Does 27 hit your dance ACs?
Yeah.
Ha.
Then the music that this strange origami, I'm going to refer to it as the origami scald, the living song plays, is enough that your whole rhythm is being thrown off, and you take 15 points of musical damage. The dual hand takes some damage at the start of his turn, correct?
Yes.
How much?
5?
5.
5.
And Eerie, does 21 hit your dance AC?
Wait, super. Wait. Sorry. So sorry. Point of order. Galat, does 21 hit your dance AC.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. We forgot Morgan has a -5.
I'm gonna say it would, but I'm gonna assume I can still push this button and say no.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Can you tell me what your intellect fortress looks like in terms of dance?
Well,
The Doulahan like with one giant drilled hand pointing to the air and then back to its groin and then back to the air, then back to the groin, just like approaches you extremely menacingly.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to grab a disco instrumental as fast as I can.
Yeah. Just going to Yuri's going to just seeing this display in front of him do as best as he can to just kind of briskly spin and fly out the way, just kind of pushing down his disco fever.
Okay. Yeah, that's completely fair. You're so mentally like prepared. The disco fever means nothing to you. And that is Melgar's turn.
Well, there's only but to continue the dance of renewal. So, in spirit of that, he is going to perform the first act of this this ritual, and he's going to attempt, because he has no trees available, substitute Warren.
The other one. I'm sorry.
I'm just checking. I don't know. It's hard for me to find it because I listed as the artist previously known as Warren in my notes, so I had to fucking scroll through. That just hits his AC.
Why is it so high?
Because it has fake Warren has 28 base plus 4 from Tisha.
Dance AC?
Dance AC.
Jeez.
He's been training for this moment for years. So 41's pretty rough.
And he's knocked prone.
Can you tell me all about it?
So part of the dance of renewal is to drive the tree as far into the ground to stabilize it on the first hit, which is why it's so important to smash it as hard as you can. Usually there's a run up and there's a whole little, drums to it, but he's going to substitute it with an axe. And he's just going to, just in a wide arc swing, plummet it on top of his head, but he's not going to be using the edge because that wouldn't give enough force, so he uses the back handle of it to drive it straight into the center of his skull.
Yeah, fake Warren fucking hits the goddamn dirt.
And sensing the flow of the battle seems to aims to disrupt their footwork, and will attempt to make their attacks or their dancing skills slightly worse, if possible. It's -2 to AC, but I'm trying to swing it.
Okay. No, I love that. I will bear that in mind. And that's each enemy in the blast?
So just Warren and the big guy.
Okay. Is there anything else for the fucking warrior barbarian turn?
No, no, I didn't kill anything.
Okay, then I just want to as this occurs, fake Warren just calls out real quick. And just for the record, if you think I'm with him, I just want you to know this is a losing team, and I'm not going to side with a headless golem and some fucking book of music. I just want to come along with you all and kill the Serothian. Fury, it's your turn.
Okay, so Erie is going to shift backwards a square and in the same
No,
motion.
that sounds like something I would say if I'm being honest. I'm a little inclined to believe myself.
I mean, it is you.
If I roll insight on myself, do I get a bonus?
Yeah, of course you do.
You know you.
Ah!
You very know you.
Jeez.
No, he 100% sincere. Like you can tell that he's like, what is this fight gonna take 15 minutes tops? Nah. This is nothing. This is some bullshit.
100% sincere that he's like, nah, you know what? Fuck this Feywild. I don't want to be here.
Completely.
He's just going to bring his other self out, and he's going to very classically, traditionally ballroom dance with himself, using his magics to light up the area and just make it more flashy. And at the same time, he will look to Warren and the Golem and challenge them to dance the same.
I love that he created his own dance partner.
I will spend 2 augment points to do so. Because we're going to push the button. I got to click my token.
Whoa.
Yep.
Did he hit?
Yeah.
So the Golem and Warren take 13 big points of damage. And they both take a -5 to hit until the end of my next turn.
Well, that sucks.
Did the music stop?
It did. I was trying to fucking fix it, but it's
Oh,
too bad.
Warren's dance. I'm excited for this.
Much in the same way that Warren felt secondhand embarrassment from himself, everyone feels secondhand embarrassment from himself. Where, like, he constantly is looking around at how people are dancing and just, like, trying to imitate them, but despite their looks of, like, disgust, he doesn't stop. He just powers through and is like, all I have to do is get through this fucking dancing, and we can move on, we can hang out with, like, what Melgar has in mind. So it's like someone who's never danced in their whole life.
He dances like a dad. Like a dad.
Yeah, but also can't be stopped. So I think endurance is my stat.
That checks out 100%. It just powers through.
I'm gonna do whatever the equivalent of like a spin would be past Saigar, and nearly trip over my 2 feet over this
for sure.
way.
Look out, there's icy stairs.
I didn't have any. I was so captivated. I had literally no plan for a turn. But in that moment, as Warren like strikes a really non-fitting disco pose, he has like an explosion of stars around him to like sell the moment towards the Dullahan.
Disco pose it is. 16 does not hit its dance AC.
He spins back around and points his finger the other way.
23 does hit his dance AC.
Oh my god.
And the Dullahan's now at -7.
Alright. Come on, me! Who dances better than me? Let's dance our way out of this jam.
Oh, it's not that easy, is it? Because if I just tag along, right, then one of us is always going to be standing in the other's shadow. So I'm just going to kill you and then take your place.
See,
That's
Warren,
what I
that's
would have
just
done.
Yeah, and see, the best part is you won't even know the difference. The Raven Queen might even like that, because she's got a weird sense of humor, and then she won't be trying to kill us all the time because we did it to ourselves.
He raises a lot of good points, Warren. Do you have any rebuttal?
I mean, listen to his accent, all right? He doesn't even have any plans for this situation.
Was that dance planned?
Mine?
Yeah, because it did not seem like you had any plans for this situation either.
I've trained to fight with swords my whole life. My footwork is immaculate.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead.
Hi, glad it's your turn.
Hi. I was gonna go with ballroom dance, but I think I'm gonna mix it up, and instead I'll go with a timeless classic that has fallen out of favor in the Feywild for years now, and Glad's gonna go with swing.
Oh.
Good old jazz.
I'm using history as my dance AC.
God, I fucking love that.
And so for the roll of 1d4, is it like 1, 2, 3, or actually a 1, 2, 3, but a 4 is a crit?
That is correct.
Okay. Well then, instead, fuck that. And I'm just gonna.
What about sweaty palms though? Don't crit miss.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that. So I'm gonna walk up to Saigar, and I'm gonna grab his hand, and then like do a couple swing dances, and then like twirl him out, and grant him a basic attack.
Oh, that's sick.
I'm targeting Warren.
Yeah, go for it.
Which one?
The prone one.
Knock
Good
him out of
fucking
the
luck.
dance battle.
He does have cover
Oh, it's true. Wait, why does he have cover?
because he's
Uh,
prone.
Prone makes it harder to hit ranged attacks.
Oh, oops, my bad.
It's still, well, yeah, good luck.
Is it -5?
-2?
-2?
It is -2. So it's
Oh,
a
really?
total AC of 34 currently.
Oof. Oh. Yeah.
Not
Well,
quite.
ignore that. Ignore that anyway. That was the wrong attack anyway.
Oh, was it?
Well, it's just a basic attack, right? Not a splitting attack.
That is correct, yeah. The 23 still counts.
Okay, well, yeah, I missed.
No,
Very good.
Warren, spins and kicks the arrow out of the air with his feet.
And minor action, I'm gonna use short rest on Melgar.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that I can't do that.
And I think Galad will kick his feet out once, twice, and then do a backflip, and then do this motion to Melgar to give him the short rest.
Fantastic.
So, after his initial sultry, showy introduction, it's fascinating to watch because you didn't know that the Tarantella could turn dark as Kyvius's brows furrow, and suddenly there's a malice to his passion. Instead of evocation, there's a revulsion, almost as if pushing away his invisible dance partner. And I am going to use Nest of Neophon on the Morrigan, which will also hit Taisha. It's a burst 2 within 10, so the burst would be centered right here, so that I think that'll hit this guy as well. Is that correct?
It sure will, yeah.
And there's no roll or anything. All of those targets are now slowed, and until the end of my next turn, the first time one of them makes an attack, it must make a saving throw, and if it fails, I can use a free action to have it attack something else.
Oh God. Okay.
And then his dark and brooding repulsion complete, Kyvius pulls his cape up across his face and slinks 3 squares down this way. And that's his turn.
I found a better song for Saigar that I'm going to use starting his next turn, but the time being, you just get the fucking medal still.
So minor sustain, I'm going to keep the rain of arrows going, and then
Okay.
I'm going to target the Morgan, and I'm going to use this.
Against her,
Against her, yes.
that would hit. But good old Warren throws up his shield and protects her, even from his wounded position on the ground,
Oh, geez.
demonstrating his immense value.
Can I interrupt an interrupt? I actually can't.
Cannot, no. But Warren winks at you, Saigar.
All right, then.
Which one?
Yes.
Well, I guess that's my turn, then.
Oh yeah, it's the top of the round. Damn him,
Picture like
getting
one
his
is like a
back.
clean twinkle, the other one has like ooze coming out.
I hate that.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
it's
finally
like
got
a-
the fucking music ready to go. Thank you very much. I'm so sorry that took so long. Warren is gonna stand from prone. Is that okay?
Can I get? Do I attack him when he stands up in front of me?
No,
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
do.
so. You do?
Well,
Yeah,
well,
before you
if-
do.
right?
I thought that's what your rage did. Oh, it's on every hit?
Yeah.
Okay, then no. Standing prone does not provoke an attack of opportunity, but it is his whole
Right.
move action. And same thing, he just like basically just headbangs into your personal space.
No.
That's it.
Yeah, you get fucking thrown full on into Warren's mosh pit energy. Choosing you... No, you know what? Choosing... I think it's going to be Saigar, actually, this time. 20 versus your dance AC, Saigar?
So, sorry, quick rules question. Is it the bonus amount?
Whatever your skill bonus is, yes.
All right, well, it hits me then.
So, okay. Then can you go ahead and give me a d6?
It didn't. I got a 4.
You suffer from arthritis,
Oh,
which
boy.
I will add to your character sheet as well.
My speed is reduced to 3.
Oh no.
By sufficiently passing on the foul move to a
Hold up. Did the Morrigan make a saving throw?
I thought it was against... she did not. My apologies. Hang on.
Ah!
But thank you very much for catching that. I'm so sorry. I was thinking it was going to be the Doulahan and Tisha. My apologies. And then also, Saigar, does 24 hit your dance? I imagine it does.
Yes.
Your cloak just begins to wrap around your head and smother you. Blinding
Okay.
you for like your next attack.
Okay.
The dancing living song gets a little bit closer. That's against everybody, I believe.
Oh god.
No, I'm so sorry. Kyvius and Saigar are both safe.
Yeah, minus 15. Yeah.
When it says all allies, you mean the allies of this creature, right?
Yeah, that allies of that creature, correct.
Got it.
Oh, go for broke. Fuck you.
Thanks. The Doulahan raises his hands high and just begins to conjure in the air above it some kind of like what looks like an electric spear. You have no idea what this creature's plan is, but as it begins to materialize, the creature doesn't stop doing like awesome dance moves simultaneously.
Oh.
Does 13 hit your dance Eerie. I can't really reach you actually. Hang on. It's here 1, 2. Is that okay?
And it's actually a 6.
I'm asking permission from our barbarian. Yeah, this-
So is he moving? And
he's
moving.
trying to.
Well, I don't. Wait, he's marked, isn't he?
He is
Oh,
marked.
so it's a 4 to hit.
It's going to be a 4. Yeah.
He also
But
needs
that's
to
a
roll
read
a
move too.
he needs to roll a saving throw before making an attack. He
That
was
is
also
also
in
true.
the burst.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay.
That one.
I just
So-
had to.
so he
So-
instead is going to attack Warren.
Okay. He still has a total of like 4 to hit. He is distracted by conjuring the spear, and the dance moves suffer somewhat.
And he also takes 5 damage.
And that still triggers.
Mm-hmm.
Because the land around him was just newly formed and the energy still sparking off everyone that's in it, the aggressive actions not accepting the challenge of Melgar immediately spark the land to come up and attack them.
Yeah, I love this. Yep. Okay. Where's he going?
He's gonna go right. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put him right here.
That look right.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Warren also takes 9 damage.
Oh, he did.
And then he's shifted 1 right here.
To off the ledge.
Yes. How far does that drop?
He does not get shifted off the ledge, but I can move him 1 left to left if you prefer.
Okay, that works.
And that's all of my enemy turn.
Did you take 9 damage off?
Off of the Dulehan? Yes, I did.
So Melgar, continuing in his ritual, will then strike the fake Warren. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. No, he's too fast.
Does 30 hit his AC?
Isn't
Does
his shield gone?
Not. No.
Wait, his
No,
shield's gone, isn't it?
Tisha tries to do it every single turn. As long as she is alive with her 1 hit point, she is tossing shields on Warren.
Ah, okay.
I'm just not doing it every single round.
Right. That's the end of my turn.
What is this ominous music?
Oh, that was Melgar's music. Now it's for you.
Oh. Okay, so Erie's just going to look up at the Morrigan and he's just going to start busting out. He lost his dance party, so he's just going to bust out in some freestyle moves and then point to her with 2 finger guns for her to go next. And we're going to do this move.
Did 32 hit his AC still?
Does not. Oh, wait, 32 does hit AC.
Because of the -2 to the mark.
Oh, right.
I'm not sure I follow.
Remember when I said to disrupt their footwork? His mark, because of the thing, does -2 to AC, and you said you loved it? So I'm just asking.
You did.
Wait, hold up for a split second here then. This might change things momentarily. So the mark gives you -2 AC against Warren as well?
So the Slayer stash means I get to change the mark
right.
from...
Okay. Yeah,
So
you know what? That's a hit. Does 26 damage, which brings him to 0. Do you leave Warren Clone alive?
No?
Can you describe to me what happens when you bring Warren Clone to 0 hit points?
The axe attempting to embed him into the ground and plant him, the force of this incredible sized axe just carries through straight into the cement, and as it carries through the skull, cracks form out from the skull. from the pavement below.
You get 2 points towards Joscool, and Warren, you look at yourself and like the eyes are wide. He goes, "No way! I just want to fight a dragon!" And the fucking axe goes right through him.
Oh my god.
Is there like a record scratch?
No.
So I'll give myself that 10 health back. Then I'll do this.
Yeah, I mean it's a little slow, but like Warren dies, and everybody's like,
Oh my god, I love that you had that.
I don't know how to do temp HP on this character. Anyways,
"Fucking knows."
and then because I killed someone, I get to use this ability,
Tell me more.
and I'm going to charge the Doulahan.
It's just the infinite turret.
And then I'm going to make a charge attack.
Well, charge dance.
And doing the ritual's run up, he runs, take 2 steps, takes a large jump, and then slams it into the head, trying to drive him into the ground.
But like in a dancey way.
In a very dancey way. And the terrain following Melgar as a move action took place. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. No, it only shifts 1. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anyway, you have been murdered by words and dance, and also an axe, fake Warren. Eerie, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Jaunty music, here we go. We're all having fun. Warren's blood just starts pouring down the stairs.
Meanwhile, there's just like a dude split in literal half.
yeah, we're gonna just do a little freestyle dance and then finger guns at the Morgan for her to do something to answer, and we'll do 2 augment points on that thingy majigger, and to try and hit her with that thing.
Yeah, that'll hit her dance. She's a little concerned.
So she'll just move down to. You see where I'm pointing?
I do.
And she's gonna attack the guy with the guitar.
Okay. She doesn't actually have a melee basic attack. 1 second. Oh, that'll hit, yeah. You control the power of her dance. 5 to damage.
Yeah, +5 to hit and damage, and then she's dazed until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
And I will go chill up by the health bar.
There we go. Yeah, you take refuge up by the health bar. Hey, Warren.
Hi.
Hey.
There's like this brief little moment where Warren's like, huh. Well, you know,
Easy come, easy go.
guess this means my path was the right one, eh? And he boogies on by. As I give myself carpal tunnel switching the sprite over and over. For my disco dance.
Should make a macro.
I remember when I just wanted to fight a dragon. Life's simpler. Too bad you can't go back in time. I'm gonna follow Erie's lead and try and get the Doulahan to think that the Mora's move was so cool that he wants to support her new decision.
That hits. Yep.
Alright, yeah. The Doulahan, since we're dancing similar styles, I just kind of move with the beat to him towards the bard, and then as his basic attack, I pelvic thrust at him.
Hit this square.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick Morgan out of the way. Okay, yeah, and just like an explosion of spores explodes from your genital region. As happens, let's be honest. Happens to everybody.
Yeah. As part of the as part of the blowback from the spores, I guess I do a little spin and point at the Mora to mark her.
Okay.
The Doulahan does make a melee basic attack against the bard if he has one.
He does. Kind of.
I tried.
Nope. No luck. I haven't been doing Barb. Gotta remember that. Galadriel.
I'm gonna start out by doing another flip, and when I land, a couple of trumpeteers are gonna come in, playing some swing music.
I love that.
And then I'm gonna jump over to Kyvius, hook my arms, go back to back, hook my arms in his, and then fling him over myself and grant him a basic attack.
Oh my god!
Oh, and then he flips, and then his hands go out, and a big ol' Eldritch Blast shoots out.
Yeah, and don't forget that every single person can choose to do a second win and get an extra 5 hit points this turn if you would like to as a minor action.
As part of the turn, basically, right?
As part of your turn, yeah.
Ooh, 18 versus the Morrigan. I'm guessing no.
No luck, unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
Damn.
That
No,
was-
it's like the Feywild crackling energy that you fire towards her. She just calls back, "You owe that eye an apology."
Oh, I forgot. As part of the bushel of spores, Myconid spawns next to where he slides, which is right there. And there's a little disco in Myconid.
Remember that. There's a little dancing mushroom. Fantastic.
Everyone adjacent to it takes -4 to attack. Because he's so adorable.
Everybody turns and watches for sure.
I don't remember where my rain of arrows is now.
They're all out of it.
Are they all out of it? Okay.
Yeah.
Except for Melgar. Melgar's in the middle of it.
It's a big chunky boy.
Yeah.
Obvious, it's your turn. But how could you know that if I wasn't using the music to signify it?
After getting his bearings, after flipping over Galad's back, Kyvius does 2 big spins forward, up to the stairs, and then with a grand wave of his hand, he decides to kind of give a little repeat performance, and brings a darkness around this whole little crew right here. And it'd be 26, which is not much, but there'll be a burst of darkness around them. As Fey creatures, because we're real close to the Fey right now, all of a sudden are seen little razor-sharp pixies are seen pirouetting in silver sparkles inside this little zone of darkness where, before you'd seen kind of stuff out of nightmares. Now it's very, very nice. It's just if they get too close. Ow!
That hits all. Mora resists some of it, but the other 2 are very clearly struggling.
Sweet. So yeah, it's a burst 1 zone of darkness centered on the Morrigan.
They take D10 every fucking... Yikes, I hate that. A power is so nutty.
Does the Doulahan have
It's
barbed
daily.
enough steel?
Have a bar?
Does the Dullahan have barbed up right now?
It does. That is true. My apology. You also take 15 points of necrotic damage, Kaivius.
Ooh.
As the Dullahan responds to your dance in perfect tempo and matches you step by step, but a little bit better. And your own sort of emotional response, you feel a little heartfelt.
15, you said?
15.
Ouchie. Okay. And then they're all blinded. Perfect darkness.
Yes. I will bear that in mind.
Am I blinded still?
What blinded you?
I believe the cloak, right?
Oh, yes, you are. Yeah, this turn, if you make an attack roll, you're only rolling d4 to hit. 4 is a crit, but the other ones are all misses.
Wait,
probably.
I don't have sweaty palms.
He's got arthritis.
I have arthritis, which allows me to only move 3.
The sweaty palms was not what was causing that. It was the fact that she has animated your cloak as part of her turn as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
20
yeah.
pounds make you drop your weapon on a 1.
Those
Okay.
curses don't go away after this fight.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Sorry, I'm just reading the text really quick here. So 1d4, and a 1 means what happens if I hit a 1?
A 1, 2, and 3 are just misses. There's no crit failure or anything for you.
The 1, 2, and 3 are just automatic misses, basically.
Well, no, I mean, if you've got plus 27 to hit, they would still hit.
Oh,
But
I
they-
see. Got it. Okay. See, I don't get any of my bonus from my attacks, basically.
You do, but I think 1, 2, and 3 are going to be too low to hit anything.
Yeah, they definitely will.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot of options here, so...
No, you only shoot arrows.
Well, I'm
Just,
going to...
just your next attack.
That's true. I'm going to move 3 over here.
Look at this fucking mess of goddamn tokens, guys. We have gone so far past the bounds of good taste in this campaign. It's a nightmare. You can't even fucking tell what's going on anymore. I've tried so hard.
Alright, and I'm going to target the Morgan.
You just ice skate around the 2 parts of your own body.
I'm basically targeting the Morgan, and I'm going to focus my eye on her.
Uh-huh.
And my eye starts pulsing in almost like a fashion.
Oh my
And
god.
I'm going to fire just two arrows at her.
Oh, I
how do
forgot you were
roll this
using.
now?
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Just roll a 1d4.
Got it.
And also hit your attack button. So the first one misses. Second arrow is probably also going to miss. Give me one more d4.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
He rolls a 21 on a 3.
Which is pretty fucking good, but not quite enough. Well, that's a crit. So that's your second arrow. Can you go ahead and give me another attack roll real quick?
So 16 plus.
Yeah.
And then another d4 for it, right?
No. No, I don't think so. Yeah, 16 plus...
Oh,
Just give me the splitting time again.
I'm getting a little confused. My apologies.
No, that's okay. It's a weird one.
It did not roll. What the heck? There we go.
Of course,
So-
it'd be huge damage.
So 24 on a crit. Oh god, the other would have been so much bigger. Holy shit. Yeah, despite the fact that your own living hood has turned against you, Saigar, you managed to fire off one arrow and then just with your own pulsing eye, just detecting exactly what's before you. Another one is fired off, perfectly cuts through all of them and hits the Mora directly.
All right, that's my turn.
The Morgan, my apologies.
She is dazed.
She is dazed and blind and marked.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on.
And at the start
she
of
takes
her
8
turn,
points
she
of
takes...
damage.
Yeah.
Reduced slightly because of necrotic damage, but not significantly. She's...
So pause. You guys know what dancing is, right?
Yeah. This is against Kaivius again. The hips are swaying and moving, and even though you can tell that she doesn't know where you are, it's still like it's troublesome for sure. You do feel like though the dance off that she's employing against you is enough to throw you off a little bit. I imagine. Does 22 hit your AC? 23 hits your dance.
20. It's reduced to 23, and
I think
whatever
so.
bonuses
my
you
dance
have.
is
Blinded
21
mark.
plus 2, so I'm 20. I'm 23, so that hits.
Can you give me a d6? And I'll have you guys just call out for me what he rolls. What
6.
What curse?
Mood swings.
swings.
Oh God.
A fitting.
I must roll an intimidate check whenever interacting with a new NPC.
Oh man.
Does the Morgan get to make any saving throws against this horrible shit at the end of her turn?
Well, it's a zone, so she could move out of it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
just
bur-
a
it's a
zone of
bur-
darkness that
But she,
affects
she,
all
she
of
is
us.
slowed, so she can't move more than 2 squares.
I do want that. Now, is it also difficult terrain on the ice itself?
Yes.
And she's slowed, so I don't know if she can get out of the ice deal.
She can, but not effectively. No, just that winds up here.
Yep. So
So
Well,
that's-
she's also dazed, so she can't move at all.
Oh, right, that too.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
So-
My
so she's-
apologies.
yeah,
she just
yeah.
lives right there.
What is blinded given fourth? Total
The
concealment?
living song is going
Yeah.
to move up to this location, taking an opportunity attack from you, Melgar.
And starts his turn with 11 points of necrotic.
Does he even have a health bar?
He does, but not for long. Can you describe to me what that is?
So as he's readying his axe to swing into this Doulahan, just as he's readying it, the bard runs into it like mid-swing, and it just sort of clips him.
God, I don't love that.
I don't want to say this, but she would have missed.
Because of the Myconid.
The Myconid, the Mark, and the Blind.
I realized that too. I think I'm just gonna stick with it though. Too late, but I will remember that for next time. My apologies.
Okay.
Just gonna.
And if he's hit, he is knocked prone.
Well, he's hit and he's dead. A couple things happen here really quick when he dies. The first is that the origami begins to just unfold, and the bard, the loot just sort of falls nearby, half hidden beneath the ice, and the origami itself just begins to spin as you have successfully dropped the beat.
Oh.
The Doulahan, now having finished his fell ritual, grabs this spear and plants it directly in the ground, basically before the two of you. And Warren, you watch in horror as the Doulahan leaps up, employing a new type of dance that you have not seen before.
He takes 7 necrotic at the start of his turn. Do I take that as well?
Oh.
Oh my God.
I will take the 7 necrotic damage.
And
he's,
opportunity attacks take up immediates, right?
they do.
Okay, thank you.
And he spins around on the pole. I'm pretty sure that 12 does not hit anybody's dance defense in this area.
Nope.
No. Although I kind of wish it did.
Well, if it's close burst, then it doesn't really matter for the blind.
Well, then it's 15 versus dance, which I imagine is not going to be.
But it would be the
no.
Myconid.
13.
Yeah. You know.
Towards him.
You did that
You
on
know what?
purpose.
Hey, Melgar.
Hi.
You begin to get yourself just sort of like sucked into the living song's zone of bass dropping.
I'm gonna continue attempting to catch the spinning one with my axe, I'm going to attempt to continue to plant the trees.
Okay, but do you want to plant a tree inside him? Do you want to give him your big wood? 33 hits his dance.
So I do 26 damage, and I push the 3 squares into the lady.
She knew she wanted
and
it
she
anyway.
takes 10 damage upon being adjacent to him, and he's knocked prone. Double prone.
That is the most humiliating thing that you could have done.
And then, as to not miss a beat, Melgar's going to shift his plane 1 square over. And then once it's 1 square over, he's going to use this. And he's going to dematerialize and appear right here.
Pretty cool dance move.
Yeah, just fucking teleport out of existence because of dance.
He's got the flow.
Oh,
Hiring.
You use your minor
Hello.
as
He could, but Melgar doesn't care.
I could.
just if you wanted to use second wind.
Oh, okay. I'll use second wind.
There's no
And then
bonus
that's
defensive.
healing surge plus
5. I
what
believe.
was it? 5? So 20.
So we're gonna flutter our way up there, and we will second wind as a minor action to get our sweet 21 extra hit points.
At this point in time, you watch as Taisha disappears inside the skull of the basilisk. Gets the fuck out of here.
Then, looking down at this pile there, I'm just going to pull out the boombox that's playing all the music, and I'm just going to hit stop on it and just leave them with no music, and it's just going to be really awkward for them. And I'll augment to it because that's what I do.
Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh!
That's against whom?
Double
All of
hand
them?
and both of them, yeah.
Eerie killed Steel.
So she takes 26 and is dazed until the end of my next turn again.
That's not great.
It's also very quiet.
I don't want it to be quiet.
Me neither.
I like
Warren-
Warren's disco too much.
The second it stops, I'll just hit play again.
Oh, okay.
Warren, spurred on to attempt dances he's not capable of, attempts to do what the robot did, and runs up to spin on the pole, like, not in a good
Uh-huh.
way, but just to literally spin around.
Uh-huh.
Where's my fucking spin?
Yup. Yeah,
Oh no,
Warren,
look at Melgar.
you all have to bear witness to Warren grabbing the pole that you had just watched a Doulahan perform sensual dance maneuvers on as he reaches out with his tendril and just gives a little whirl on it as well. Like he's just trying it out, you know? The new Warren, new day. Also, you watch as Warren's corpse gets pulled into the living storm and gets completely shredded.
Jesus Christ.
I hope my death will be as brutal.
Hello, Glad.
Hello. Oh, also minor action healing second wind if you wanted to.
Yes.
I'm watching fucking Warren have the time of his life.
Galad's gonna march forward a little bit, and I was just about to do that. like twirl his fingers a little bit, grab a fedora, and then spin it over to Melgar and grant him a basic attack.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no, the
my
crit
God.
button! Oh no!
What
Oh,
the
no!
Give me another one! Oh my god!
What?
That can't be right. Okay, hold on. 3?
1 in 400! Or 4,000, I think?
You just got 3 back-to-back nat 20s.
What have I unleashed?
It's a pretty good standard action.
What the fuck?
Melkar, this is the strongest attack that anybody has ever witnessed in their life. You bring the axe down, and the platform that you are on sunders. What happens to the person beneath it?
I feel the sheer weight of the strike it starts at, and it's like the annihilation of the person is probably the best, because the gale of when it hits and just the sheer force of the axe coming to the ground not only severs from head to toe, it then blows pieces apart. And 80s movie style head scanners, that she explodes in gore.
Jesus. There is no other way to say it, but you can feel Cord's pride rushing through you as you have now begun to wield the weapon the way that he would have wanted. And I'm going to give you 2 more points for that as well.
Guys, I can destroy the world now.
Yeah, I think they all look at you after that strike and realize that to be true.
As soon as I get up from having to deal with the fact that I was dancing on a pole and got sprayed with blood.
Melgar, can I ask you to add a little bit of a wiggle at the end there? It didn't really feel very dancey.
The trees.
The tree's planted.
Right. Okay.
And watered and fertilized, apparently.
Well, that was probably a new record for gore in all of my years as a dance-off participant.
That was an excellent challenge.
You
Gahilani, show us another.
You see, he likes dancing now. He was so timid before.
Yeah! That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, go
Morgan
ahead.
Scythe has fallen nearby, just again dropped before she can make any kind of like escape to report back. But it is also cracked and damaged from your incredible assault.
Is this loot still around, or the loot like the LUTE, or is it gone?
The loot vanished when the creature vanished as well.
Can I check in the skull?
There is no sign of Taisha, but there are like lots of little footprints where she is just sort of like bailed back up towards the city itself.
Okay.
I'm going to retrieve bone samples.
Can I look at the scythe to see what it at least would have done?
Yeah.
I
Let's
had
take
a
a photo.
scythe for about 1 session.
It still is technically that, but it is broken currently.
Whoa, and I
As
can
long
try
as
to.
you are dancing.
Is it magical, or can it be repaired? Through
It can be
conventional
repaired.
means. Conventional means.
It can be repaired with conventional means.
I'd like to try to repair it later.
Not right this second, though.
No, not right now. Later.
It only works if you're dancing.
And if you're a worshiper of Nero.
And you get
Well-
+2 if you are a worshiper.
Yeah.
Who even is Narrow?
I just need to
Uh,
go BRB really quick.
a dark god that you never bounced into in this campaign at all.
Well, that's not necessarily how I expected your showdown with the Morrigan to end. But it sure did.
I was
Well-
not quite joking, by the way. Still, I'm going to try to cut off the horn of this thing.
It's lower horn.
The one right here.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a nature check.
Like lower horn.
What do you mean the lower horn?
What the fuck is nature at this level? DC 28.
Okay, well, never mind.
No, you managed to get like a couple of little bone chunks from it. But as you start like destroying it, you realize that it's actually just paper mache and plaster, not actually bone.
The Feywild.
Sorry, Hugh. I think I cut you off.
Just Feywild things.
No, you're good.
I sort of thought we'd end up having to face them again later in some weird, like they teleport away in the Feywild or something. Didn't
We did not give them the chance.
That didn't. Yeah. You know,
I didn't have the sprite ready, but from behind you can hear like a whoop and a cheer and a holler from Garrow, and also you can hear Shireen call. You know, seeing that, sometimes I wonder if you all wouldn't be better off leaving the consciousness thing to my people and you all going back to your climb tree, get banana roots.
Did I miss it? Did Taisha fly away?
Taisha cannot
I'm
fly, she
sorry.
has no wings, but she did
hopped
run
away.
away.
Okay. Sorry, I missed it.
Okay.
yeah, you know, it's getting happier that I traded to the Raven Queen every day. I'd at least like to know that if I died suddenly to a bugbear in a dance battle, I'd get to stay dead, you know? It's a deserved one at that point.
Hey, Melgar, what's your strength score right now?
31.
I was
Okay.
close. He's going.
He's just a little strong.
What's Bahamut's strength in 4E?
Like 40.
Getting there.
Getting there.
Getting close.
Yeah, that was a lot. Do you want to take the quick 5-minute break here or after the next scene?
Yeah. A break here would be good.
Okay, there's a bunch of stuff that I want to get done today, but we'll take a 5 here for sure.
Oh wait, actually,
Yes.
Bahamut's strength is 31.
No, see you guys in a minute.
I can arm wrestle a dragon. I love it.
It does have an AC of 52 though.
Getting closer.
Right, back in a
My
minute. I need some more
normal
coffee.
strike look like now.
I gotta be honest, I'm really glad that we're running out of combats here, guys, because it's just becoming a fucking mess. Every turn is a nightmare.
This is when 4E gets all those criticisms.
Also, I know that nobody's here currently. Fucking triple crit, guys!
I was scared it was broken somehow.
Holy shit! If I wasn't fucking taking my break, I would look up what the odds of that are happening, but like, I think they're in the 4K range. Like 1 in 4,000. Dang, son! I'm still fucking destroyed over that.
It's a 1 in 8,000, by the way.
1 in 8,000, yeah. Zek sends me a little, like, you tried, little fucking message.
I didn't expect even after that damage that would have downed her. I didn't calculate how
yeah,
much
man.
I did.
Jesus.
Hey, that was 83.
She was vulnerable to melee and took an extra 10 from every hit as well, so I was calculating that in there as well. Yeah, over 100 for sure.
It was a good test run for my crit macro.
Fuck me.
On the third one, I thought for sure your macro was bugged to always crit.
Oh, it didn't even fully work because I had another attack after that too because of crit.
I mean, you gotta do that. Get some more fucking crits in there. Yeah, I was gonna say. Fuck off. That's wild.
That was a good standard action there, collection.
Yeah, no kidding.
He
You know,
should get a
it-
strength too.
It's funny, the Warlord guide that I often refer to help make decisions is called Warlord, or How to Wield a Barbarian.
Yeah, I can see that.
I get it now.
You know, that's how Warren would go down. He had all this plans and preparation.
You say Warren would go down in a blazing glory of like bloody gore?
No.
basically?
To have made a lot of plans and preparation and be super ready, and then for something he never saw coming to come out of nowhere and hit him with an axe.
Fucking ridiculous. Also, it's funny to hear somebody reference to those old 4th edition character optimization pages, because I remember how to wield a barbarian one-handed.
Oh, really? That's
Oh, yeah, man. I used to fucking live on that shit. Those were so good.
Yeah, it was incredibly helpful when I first started playing 4E with you guys.
Oh, yeah. No, I used to contribute all that stuff all the time. I think I mentioned it, but if you guys ever see the build for a character called Beowulf, who is a grappling fighter, that was my submission.
Writing that down to Google later.
Yeah. I think it's still up in the list of like the top 10 best defenders, which I'm pretty proud of. But yeah, man, I played a fucking ton of 4.
Is that like official like Wizards of the Coast stuff still?
No. It was just like the community forums on EN World.
Oh, I'm back. I had to go get a meal to think.
I hear that completely.
I guess hard-boiled eggs, but that kind of counts.
Like midnight?
They were already boiled. They were just in my fridge. Good snack. Are we in Sandoria right now?
It's
What,
not
because there's
far
bagpipes?
Off. It's not far off, but unfortunately, it's not the same Wild. That song has been seared into my memory.
That's true. This is too upbeat. It's a little too fast.
Na 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 na.
Fuck you, don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't you dare.
Na 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 da 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 da.
Sandoria had that like super full of itself prideful music going on.
I loved it, man.
Sandoria was my starting place.
Me too, and I had fucking big Sandoria pride. I fucking did Ballista, like
Were you
as
an
hardcore
Were you
as.
an Elvon monk?
Yeah, man.
Odd choice, but okay.
Why? They had the highest strength.
The best song
Or
in that game remains the launcher play online music.
also Galka monk or Go Home Steel.
They were inferior.
No, they weren't.
Black.
Maybe I don't remember
They-
the game anymore.
They weren't good at anything. I mean, they were okay, but
Golka had high mind.
Which is why it was good for Chakra Blast, I suppose.
Yeah, I didn't care about making a chakra bitch when I made my character.
That's all they were good for in endgame for a while.
No, I know.
Steel, I found a problem with your build for your game. It has
Yeah?
an expected gold value of way too high.
What?
For us to be level 12, we're expected to have 48,000 gold worth of items.
Oh yeah, you guys do.
Do we?
Yeah.
All together?
Yeah.
Listen, we could
Not
melt.
individually?
We could melt down your wings, and I think we'd have that much gold.
I think he's saying we probably have like 50k each.
You've got a ton of cash. Everybody good?
yep.
Fantastic. In the wake of Melgar's exceptional devastation, the 3 tagalongs that you've been brought with you, still carrying the broken body of I'm so sorry, Karna, between them, have sort of like caught up a little bit and are giving you all sort of a collective frowny face, except for again Gara, who is really fucking excited. And just you can just tell he's like finger twitchy, he's ready to go. But there is really no way of knowing how much further away from Mithrandain you guys are. Last session, you will recall that when you had left sort of the ever burning wood, which were brought about in this place basically because of Vale's dark influence, and then through the acidic rainforest, which who knows what that was a reference to. You are closer to Mithrandain, but with Galad sort of still leading the group, it's hard to say how much further it actually is. Galad, you're pretty sure that there is another little patch of forest just ahead here that is filled with treants and great ents, but beyond that is sort of where the collective portals would be.
Well, before we go any further, I think it only polite to inform Corlan of our intention to meet. Is there a grapevine around here? Does anyone see one?
On top of that hill?
And I would go over and walk over to the grapevine and whisper to it that we are planning to meet him, and we hope that he has time for us, please, so that he can hear it through the grapevine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The vine rustles a little bit in response, and you're pretty sure that it's like not a great connection because this is a fairly young plant still, but despite the fact that it will arrive, a little unripe, it will certainly do the trick.
It would be rude otherwise, not to give him a heads up, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you didn't contact him through the grapevine, it would be in poor taste.
I
go home.
We're gonna go visit a deity. Alright, cool.
Okay.
You must understand, don't get your hopes up too high. Galadriel talks about the conversations he's had with Coridon all the time. I can't imagine he's 100% accurate. Accurate.
I resent every individual word in that sentence. I am always honest.
Black screen.
I've
Not
got a
black
screen.
Not for me.
Scroll
You're
up,
fucked?
maybe?
There you go.
Yeah.
Nay! A unicorn of death has approached.
Do you wish to challenge me, unicorn?
One of the
I never
things.
thought I would say this, Melgar, but stop killing everything, please.
Can I just mount at the unicorn? Run.
Yeah, one of the things that you all collectively notice. Oh, sorry. There we go. Fix something. One of the things you all collectively notice is that, like, there is really no wildlife basically anywhere in the Feywild. In what is normally like an extremely vibrant, full of life place, it is surprisingly quiet as you trek. And in fact, before you, the only real movement that you guys get is this long vine that is constantly growing and weaving its way through the top above you. And as you continue to travel, the ground itself becomes a little bit more unsteady. You are reminded of when you had first left High Helm long ago, and how the road had sort of just broken apart over a place called the Archways. And for whatever reason, that same effect is still sort of recognized here as well. The ground is arched paths that slope and become so steep at parts that you almost slide down it. And only at one brief moment do you see any life whatsoever. And it is the animal spirit of Corlon himself, this beautiful white unicorn. But even that is only for a moment before it vanishes off. And as you all sort of collectively just try to get your bearings, trying to figure out if Gilad actually knows where he's going or not, you hear a voice that sort of emanates from nowhere. And it says, never thought I'd see you back here in the Feywild, Kyvius. Meow.
Never thought I'd be back myself, but I had some business to take care of. Why is my Galad, why is my memory like tickling right now?
Wait for it.
You're not looking too well with that eye there, chum. Meow.
Really? I thought it made me look rather dashing. It gave me a little bit of a menacing air. Made it easier to play pranks on people, asking them hey, what colour are my eyes?
This invisible voice continues to move all around you. There's no way to tell where it's coming from, but it says, looks more to me like it's getting the better of you there, pal. Your human side is, not long for this world, meow.
I mean, define long. Long for this world, long for the next world, long for any world.
Becoming a Fey Lord without a title. You do not recognize the voice. Becoming a Fey Lord without a title is a dangerous game, meow. Pretty soon that Fey Lord side is gonna take over what's remaining of what used to be a tiefling, meow.
Oh, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I'm pretty stubborn, so it's going to take quite a lot to not be me anymore.
You don't have to take that tone of voice with me, pal. I'm trying to help you out, meow.
Is that Christopher Walken or something?
I hope not.
No, it does not sound like Christopher Walken. It reminds me of Pumat Soul. I didn't mean any offense. I've been struggling with that kind of balance myself, so I appreciate the warning.
I could give you a suggestion if you were receptive, meow, but I don't know if you feel like you've got anything to trade for some good advice, meow.
I feel like the quality of the trade is much like the quality of the advice. In the event that the advice is good, it deserves a good trade.
Hey, it's no skin off my fur, pal. It's I just thought you could use a friend. Or those antlers start weighing you down further, if you know what I mean. Meow.
You have had to be kidding me.
Oh my god. Get me out. No,
Was that General Glad slumming it with a half fade? Meow.
Hey, do not sling insults our way.
It's not an insult. It's a fact. Straddled between Tiefling and Feylord. It's just a half mutt. Meow.
Why don't you show yourself? Right, meow.
From a nearby branch, you can see the shape of what looks like just a large gleaming smile begin to manifest, but not fully.
He laughed.
Puns don't work on this puss. Meow.
And we've lost Josh. He's gone. I must say, your dental work is fantastic. You have an excellent smile.
Compliments will get you everywhere. Meow. But it's not exactly a worthy trade, now is it?
No,
Hey, that's fine. I just wanted to offer some friendly advice before everything about you gets transformed into a being of grass and smoke and so on. Meow.
Well then, I think that it would be most excellent to hear your price, as I am receptive to new friends, especially those who offer sound advice.
Fantastic.
Rhyme?
Hey, Kyvius,
Rhyme?
can you give me an intimidate check with your mood swings?
I can give you an intimidate check. Hey, I rhymed that, by the way.
I did.
Alright, I don't have to click on my character, do I, for intimidate?
No, you don't.
Oh!
Kyvius, what does 36 intimidate sound
Well,
like?
here's my question, because I'm not entirely sure why I have to roll the intimidate check. So I wanted to know how mood swings was affecting me that makes me roll the intimidate check, because then I'll play that.
There is just a chance that like every single conversation you're just gonna fucking lose your temper a little bit.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, so after I say I could always use a good friend who also offers sound advice. So name your price. I sit and wait in the ensuing silence and am not immediately complimented, and I snap out with, "Speak, you living, breathing smile of a pussy!"
Easy does it, Tiger. You're gonna turn this upside down into a frown. Meow. And then after a moment, you watch as it once again like begins to fully manifest in this large feline orange and comfy lounges on the branch, and it says, "Fine, fine. But make sure you think of me when you're in high places." Meow. Best way to get around this is to claim a title. There's plenty of them floating around, but you can't be a proper Fey Lord without one. Just something to keep in mind, meow.
Something I shall keep in mind. And I'll keep my
roller-
eyes open for any titles floating around.
The roller coaster that keeps on giving.
And tell me, do you, my new friend, have any titles to claim your own?
I'm the patron saint of staying positive, meow.
A positive pussy. One I should not forget when I'm in high places. I believe that is a favour I can return.
You'd be fortunate to do so, meow.
Ah.
That one doesn't count. Oh, I feel the fade out's taken me. Don't forget what I said, Kyvius. Meow.
I will not.
And with that, you are once again left in silence.
Could we go one day?
Hey, what the fuck?
Listen, it's a Feywild thing. I wouldn't expect you to understand. But Gala, did you know what he meant about titles floating around for the grabbing?
I don't know either.
Well, it is something important to consider. Lord Captain, at the moment when a plan comes together, brought me very far.
Agree, but
And
how
it-
did you achieve that title?
Oh, it's been ages, I can't quite remember. But it did sort of style my character. This sepia tone isn't incidental.
Oh, I never considered it so. Alright then. I guess I'll just keep my eyes open for any floating titles.
Wait, does the color represent moments or time? Or plans?
Don't think on it too hard, you'll hurt yourself.
That's what Shireen says.
Do you have any more enemies, Kyvius? They seem rather enjoyable.
Oh, I'm sure we can find a little more entertainment for you as we go along here.
Yes,
There's
he
at
does.
least one I'm sure of.
Yes, and wouldn't it be great if Melgar could challenge her?
Not that one. Please do not try to kill that one.
You think he possibly could?
Well, before that last event, I would have said no.
No, that's true. Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
I feel like, okay, crazy thought, but I feel like win and lose are both bad in that situation.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing good coming out of a conflict like that.
It's fine. I must save my strength for splitting the island if it comes to it.
And you know, for the first time, Kyvius thinks he just might be able to, given what just happened.
Yeah.
That's our Melgar, so very practical.
You continue to trek into the underbrush with, again, the forest growing more wild, and as you go far away now from the dismal, dim colors of Cendrine when you were last there, the city of strange, celebratory, almost wintry weather. Here it's as bright and vibrant as you have ever experienced things. And far around you, in basically every single direction. There we go. You can very clearly see that there are dozens of large lumbering trees that move through the underbrush, swaying like enormous long arms covered with bark. And they are probably all collectively like 70 to 80 feet tall. There is what looks like another bloody fey circle not too far from your current position around what looks like what have might once been a wishing well, much like one of the ones that you passed here along the way. And this circle of mushrooms and so on is surrounding this well that looks like it has been splattered with blood, and large intestines have been sort of like half dumped into the well itself. Completely unrelated from the previous game that we played yesterday, Warren. Just a weird coincidence. I guess gets in wells is the thing that I do.
I can't think. I'm looking at the pretty colors.
Wait, you don't remember the well yesterday?
I do remember the well yesterday.
The path beneath you is again just like the same Fey path you've been following the entire time that you were warned to not step off. And smack dab in the middle of the path, you can see this large ancient treant. Its roots stretching out like enormous finger legs in every direction. Sits hunkered down as if like exhausted, just in the middle of the path itself.
He has toenails.
He does.
Ew.
And so like this entire time walking, like maybe taking a little bit too literally about titles flying around in the air for grabbing, Kyvius is like looking up around just to see if there's any titles flying around in the air before coming to this large crossing and like stepping forward and saying, Master Treant, are you resting here?
The eyes slowly creak open, the sound of wood like scraping on wood as they do, and the voice, deep and echoing throughout, says, "Not resting, dying here."
Oh, goodness. Is there
What are you
anything we
dying
can...
from?
Better question.
Ringworm rot, but also old age.
How old are you?
3,800 and a handful of years old am I. It's been a good life. Many birds have nested in my burrows. I once saw a squirrel. What more could an ant want?
Truly fulfilling.
Agreed. But, Master Treant, does the ringworm bother you? You may be passing from old age, but I'm not really familiar with what ringworm does to a treant. Is it painful? Is there anything we can do to help?
Oh, that's a kind thought. But when you get to be my age, little things wriggling around inside of you is the most excitement that you're going to get. But thank you for the kind offer.
Good treant.
Wait a moment, and its eyes blink a couple more times very slowly. I didn't get a good look at you before. I saw the pixie, but the rest of you're outsiders.
Well, not all of us.
Iwani brought us here.
I recognize some of you.
Have you met outsiders before?
Never. No.
How do you feel about outsiders?
Your lives, short as they are, must be filled with chaos and madness. Not a life for me, but do you have stories of the outside world?
I mean, we have plenty of stories. Would you care to hear one?
It would mean a great deal to me if you would consider telling me a story that I may go to sleep by forever.
Do you think if we told you a story, you could step off the path for us?
Oh, I'm in your way? I could do that, I suppose. Some life in these old roots yet. And it lifts itself up well enough so that you can go directly underneath this tree's woody undercarriage and beneath it, if you so choose, still not stepping off the path.
Well, who would like to start with a story?
Garrow?
That's not. He's looking for one to pass to.
Yes, probably not to pass gas to.
No, I got a story.
Oh, shut the
So
fuck up, Garo.
one crazy night in Epitaph, right, there were these 3 chicks, dumb as fucking bricks, all right? But I got them good and liquored up.
All right, Master Triant.
To be fair, the tree might be into this.
Yes.
I apologize, good Triant. I cannot resist a prank.
Master Triant, are there any stories of the outside that you would like? Do you like heroic stories? Do you like sad stories? Do you like happy stories? Or do you just want any story?
No, I don't wish to be greedy, but a story that has a little of everything might be nice.
Well, then I think I've got a story for you.
Does it start with once upon a time?
It most certainly does.
Garrow's like, this is the worst shit I've ever lived through, and somebody cut my arm off.
Warren's still like he was looking down and he looks back up again. You really, you 3 women? No. Epitaph? Maybe.
So Kyvius is going to he's going to try and cross on the stones over here. Is that all cool to come over close to him?
Yeah. Can you roll legacy for me as you hop across the river?
Uh-oh.
Just you.
Oh dear. 22?
Yeah, you catch sight of like a reflection very momentarily into the colorful stream, and it fades as quickly as it came.
Is it
That's it.
my own reflection or?
It was very quick. It was hard to tell, but you got kind of a weird feeling about it that it's probably better that you didn't see it.
Okay. And Kyvius would come up to him and sit down cross-legged and start to weave a story, starting with once upon a time, talking about this group of children that all met for the first time during this beautiful festival in the city of High Helm. And together, they flew on the back of a mythical creature, one he might be familiar with, summoned from the Feywild, but were whisked away in the dead of the night by evil children snatchers. And these evil children snatchers tried to turn them against their friends and family and everybody else. But the children grew closer by this experience and were eventually rescued by the bravery and the sacrifice of one of their own. And in the most noble of acts, their childhood friend gave his own life for them all to escape, where they would all go their own way and grow up, only to return to come and renew their friendship 10 years later, having formed bonds that were stronger than ever and continue to this day. So a little happy, a little sad, little everything.
And everyone lived happily ever after?
Well, Master Triant, that is still the question. And still the goal. But when I find out, or when I should say we find out, I'll make sure and come back and let you know. Whether you're here or not.
That's very kind of you. And this entire time in the background, the story, as sensitive and beautiful as it was, has been marred somewhat by Garrow and Warren talking about whatever a blumpkin is.
God.
And you can see the tree's roots shuddering and shaking a little bit, and says, "Scurry on through. Not much time."
Is there not much time?
Not much time.
Oh, okay. Well, Master Triant, thank you for letting us pass your way. And I guess Kyvius had listened to him and scurry on through underneath.
Yeah. I'm gonna change maps here really quickly. Oh, not that one. Oh, not that one either.
Oh.
This one.
I think before we finish heading out, I think Glad would say, "Good Trient, have you ever considered that instead of 3,800 years old, you are but 3,800 years young?"
Oh, I like that. And the eyes begin to slowly settle closed. And as you all go through, Garrow nudges you, Siger, and says, "Hey, do you want to carve something in him?"
We could use you as a testing ground first, Garrow, if you'd like.
Fuck off! None of you guys have a sense of humor.
As Warren laughs at Garrow's joke.
Finally glad you have come to the place that your journeys have brought you. Traveling through the rest of the Treant woods, basically undisturbed for your kindness. You finally come at last to one of the great oaks planted millennia ago, countless generations ago, countless worlds ago by Corlon himself. And it has grown to be a towering tree that is so high that you can see that the branches at the highest level become almost glass-like and translucent in a weird way. Like they have grown themselves so old that they didn't just transform into just rotten little leaves and then get disappear into the wind, but rather become something more permanent. And as you look at the tree, you realize this is actually what makes the roof of the Feywild itself. The boughs stretch so far in every possible direction, these strange glass, just overlapping leaves, that from the right angle, they look like this enormous glass dome that stretches out in every possible direction, except for here, where it is so large that the tree itself just continues to grow upwards. And here, the reverse is also true. They continue to push up, and the dome itself stops being concave, but rather almost looks like an hourglass, with the upper half of the world all just filled with the enormous pale green silver light of these leaves. And at the base of it, built in, is what looks like an enormous glass wall, essentially, like stained glass. And you watch as people just walk through it like they are walking into or out of just a wall of paint. It tethers to their bodies and clings there for a split second as they vanish in and out. And where it takes them is all wherever they need to be. It's the fastest way to traverse the Feywild. And you have finally arrived.
See, everyone, it was just around the corner.
You said the canopy over where we've been standing all comes from this tree?
It seems to be, yep. It stretches out into all directions where it becomes like it's green at the start, but once they hit a certain like height elevation, they become just silver and glass-like and translucent, and collectively they all make just the enormous glassy overhang of the entire Feywild.
It's a reflection, even here.
Kind of
What,
like a
of the
mirror,
real
yeah.
world? Of the real world?
Yeah,
Well,
because just like our home there, they've got a dome.
does it from a color? Yeah, from a color perspective, does it kind of, sort of, almost mirror the howl?
Very much so, although it is like again, it's almost glassy and translucent. If you look at it into a certain way, like you can see right through it, and for some reason that doesn't seem like accidental, but rather hopeful.
Looks like it'd be really easy to break through.
That it does.
Do you suppose when Corlon planted this, it was intended to look like this? Or do you think it was because of what's happening on the other side? And that's Galadriel, basically.
I think yes.
And
Shireen says, I think if you look for coincidences everywhere, you're sure to find some.
Does it matter if it makes you happy?
a coincidence or not, seeing something this breathtaking, it makes you ponder its origin. It makes you wonder things.
We were deep in the Bravelands, and there was actually a spot up near the top of the library where you could see out past the howl, see the sky.
Well,
Zol pipes up.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, Garrow would probably say that sounds overrated, and he snorts. But I mean, if you think the metaphor here is getting to see through the howl, I'm all for whatever story it's trying to tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Galad, do we just walk through?
Quite so.
Galad, I imagine, like strides confidently up the steps, and as he does so, people sort of just move aside and all collectively give him like a little salute. Even though most people don't recognize you directly, Galad, as you get closer to the capital, people know you just by feel.
I love that. Oh, stop. Well, a little longer. Go on.
One of the other things that is noteworthy to all of you is that now that you are starting to see that most of these people are actually full Eladrin, one of the strangest things is that because Eladrin are all inherently perfectly beautiful, there isn't a lot of room for non-symmetry in the face, and you feel a little awkward saying so at first. But like as you look at all of the Eladrin men, women, whatever, they all look almost perfectly identical. They're all flawless features and as beautiful as possible. There's only so much deviation you can get away from that. And even the El here, who are all kind of like cut from the same collective cloth, all sort of grown the same way, all have very, very similar features, similar skin tone. And it sort of strikes you for the very first time that Galadriel, who has adorned himself with clothing and ridiculous glasses and pompous headdresses and so forth and so on, he's one of the only ones that looks genuinely unique. If he was to get rid of all of this pomp and circumstance and sort of stand before you with his bare face, he would look like everyone else. It's sort of a little uncanny, and it gives you sort of a better appreciation for Warren's ugliness when you look around and so many of the other ones are just samey.
How do they tell each other apart?
You distinguish yourself, obviously.
But just through clothing?
I would assume names would help.
Racist!
That was mean. Don't call Melgar a racist. Bugbears suffer a lot.
Want to fight about it?
Darrow pales and shuts up.
I am most excited to show you all the splendor of Mithrandane. Shall we?
Lead the way.
This is already infinitely better than... You know what, I'll shut up. Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Listen, I spent 5 years here. We never made it to Mithrandane proper. I'd heard about it from Galad, but we were too busy dodging, well, incidents like the one back there. And let me tell you, I got a lot of dance practice in.
Although, after months of traveling with you, Warren, I can finally say you're weird. Good job.
It took you that long.
Thank you.
You all make your way up what is like an enormously just non-feasible flight of stairs. Every step slightly spongy and squishy beneath you, like it is made of something mushroomy as well, something fungal. And as you make your way up, the world itself seems to like almost shift a little at the sort of just the edges of your perception. Galadriel goes first. He touches the stained glass, and it shimmers around his open palm and just vanishes and disappears through it. And glad you find yourself in the place that you knew that you wanted to be, a place where you would be able to go ahead and give yourself a proper introduction why you're here, to Coralon and to Sanin herself. But it's been a long time since you've been here. It is dilapidated, run down, and even though you can see the portal just off to the side that would take you directly to one of the feasting halls of Mithridane itself, and the old grand piano sits on sort of the far side of the hall, and the light that streams through the glass here as well is dim and subdued. um, the fact that you've been away for, oh god, probably hundreds of years at this point in time means that as your friends all appear behind you, they don't get the beautiful first impression of the city that they were expecting. Rather, it feels like the material plane. It feels like an old, broken down temple, and the color and flowers and vibrancy is gone from this place. Garrow pipes up. So it's shit.
Huh. Well,
Certainly isn't what it used to be.
I'm going
Yes.
to go over and inspect the piano.
I blame
There's
you all for
a
this.
lot of good lumber.
What?
I. What has happened?
I can only speculate that the unsettlement of your realm has affected this great city as well.
This is also Gladrian, a place where you used to come a long time ago and compose music, and it used to serve as a way for you to introduce not only yourself but also guests to the rest of the city properly. And even though again it hasn't been used for a long time, which is sort of an embarrassing fact, it still probably would tidy up nicely given the right note. You had planned, I believe, an opera.
For Coralon himself.
Steel, can I examine the piano to see if it's still working? And if not, I'd like to be able to try to repair it.
It is definitely still working. You put your finger down on one of the ivory notes, and it lets off just like again a long, clear, pristine, beautiful sound that reverberates throughout. And you can tell that this is a note that would be heard basically by anybody listening in any corner of the Feywild.
Well, Galad, will admit that I grew up learning instruments of any kind. I could be your accompanist if you'd like.
I would love that, Saigar. And I think I would strike a few more keys to see if it's in tune still.
I mean, it's not that embarrassing. It is still perfectly in tune. Thank goodness.
Whew. And I think still in the swingy mood, he might play like an upbeat little jaunty tune just to warm himself up.
Yeah, you tickle the ivories and they tickle back, and the sound of the piano notes just reverberate throughout. It's a good way to introduce yourself, absolutely, but it is unfortunately a poor way to introduce your companions, although you're pretty sure that Melgar, for example, after his most recent demonstration, is anything but musically inclined.
Yes, that's true.
And in fact, as you play a couple of notes, you watch as a couple of small flowers just begin to slowly sprout up.
I think feeling warmed up, he'd shift into something that started off a bit somber and then gradually picks up and grows more hopeful. And then might conjure up a few violinists to pick up the music as well as he starts playing.
A large, single, beautiful flower grows out from the top of the piano, as it is obviously extremely receptive to your work.
And he'd play a little bit more, and the hopefulness just grows into like sheer joy, and he's playing in high notes that just ring out summer to everybody. And I think the vines would start growing from underneath the piano and just spreading across the room, and musical notes would start dancing around his head.
Beyond that, is that sort of the introduction that you wanted to sort of give on behalf of everybody? Zygar stands adjacent to you, a little unsure.
I think Galad is feeling a little bit unsure himself. He definitely feels perturbed at how embarrassing his welcoming center has become.
Oh, very much so.
So he's hoping that his playing will spruce up the place some more. And I think he would try rewinding some of the stone rubble to fall back into place as he's playing, or maybe like have the vines stretch out and aid them as they kind of creep up the wall and push the blocks back where they should be.
Yeah. Can you go ahead and roll your dexterity for me?
Oh. Mm.
You hit like a hard, sharp note, and it's discordant, and it rings out. And once again, like a little embarrassing as you realize that this sort of struggling to, even though your the good nature of your arrival rings clear, again, it's hardly an introduction that represents everyone.
I'm kind of far away, but can I help out with his roll thing?
I'd love to know how.
Could I just subtly pointing out the right keys he's supposed to be hitting?
Oh, that's
With-
the greatest insult.
With where is it? That.
I mean, it's up to you, Galad. Like when you make a miss note, Eerie just like clears his throat a little bit. You watch his sort of his psionic power stretch all the way over to the piano, and the notes begin to sort of depress in a way that Eerie thinks would be far more beautiful.
I think he would kind of grimace and look up at Eerie, and flustered still just nod and go along with it.
Well, if we're making an introduction for ourselves, and we're in the Feywild,
I mean, I was gonna say just before. Sorry, I was talking near my bed. Warren, you want to go first?
I was just gonna say, I haven't done this in a long time, but back in oh my god, the vaults back in High Helm, whenever we robbed the casino, there was a little magic show, which originally was one of the ways Warren practiced magic, was because the first time he'd ever seen and really appreciated it was from the show from Javi when they were kids. And it's been a long time try and access that like childlike part of himself and use magic for something other than killing someone else. But illusion magic was the first he had, so to just kind of cover the room in like effect to backlight the piano.
I love it, man. Can you give me an Arcana check?
Sure. Sorry,
I know you're not used to like using this button.
I have this as well.
I was going to say.
I'll pick the second one.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, that makes it. it's been a long time since you like have tapped into sort of that like innocent part of yourself, but I mean, again, it's you remember when you were all collectively kids together and running down the streets of High Helm, and that moment when you were a child for the very first time, and Javi was fucking teaching you all magic, and just you can almost feel like the thought bubble above your head, so visible to other people. It's like they're right back there with you as well. That is a success.
Old cantrips I haven't used in a long time.
Yeah, no kidding. Um, and I think like stepping forward and seeing what Warren is doing and seeing what Galad and Erie are trying to do, the way that Kyvius would try to contribute is kind of a new and an old way. Um, I don't know, something about the stage and Warren and the imagery. It's just reminding him of a really great game of pretend as kids, and as the music with adjustments kind of flows. This is where I'd like to tap into something that's kind of newer for Kyvius and maybe create like a chorus, you know, of Kyvius's behind Galad and the piano to kind of kind of function as a. I mean, we don't have instruments. I don't play instruments, but kind of function as a supplement to the music that he's making. Just a really great game of pretend.
You all, you really shouldn't be. I'm the one who's supposed to introduce you all to the Feywild and Mithrandain itself.
We are a team, Galad.
Oh yeah, I think the best introduction is as us because we
Warren
do
doing
all
like
of
a
these
little
things
magic
together.
show off to the side. Sorry to interrupt you there. I like the piano, and then Warren being like magic though, and like pulling rabbits from his hat.
Steel, I'd like to try contributing. So Saigar is going to contribute the only way he thinks he knows. He was examining the piano earlier. Now, given the fact that he's brought up on instruments and things like this in general,
You used to
he's
play
going
the
to
piano specifically, as I recall.
yeah, he used to play piano, but in general, like gigantic, huge, grand pianos, like
Yeah.
from a upbringing that require that was part of my daily routine. I would like to try a crafting check to see if I can make the piano louder.
Oh, I love that.
I think as Saigar is doing his check, Ward just yells, You think we should bring Shireen over to be like eye candy in front of the piano? That's what people do, right?
Saigar, you put a little bit of pressure on the tuning hammer, just a little bit to the left because you want to decrease the pitch, but without actually turning the pin. And listening carefully at what you hear, and just again increasing the pressure a little bit on the hammer when you don't hear a difference. You can start hearing the faint beats of every single note as Galadriel continues to play. And as he like actually depresses them with force, the noise is louder than ever before. Why are you here, Saigar?
Sorry, what was that?
Why are you here?
I don't really know. Who am I talking to?
That's just a general question.
I'm here to whoever I'm talking to. I'm hearing some voices in my head apparently. I'm here to help my comrades in need. Bad things have happened, and I'm hoping that we can unbreak ourselves here.
It's been a long road. I mean, bad things, put it lightly. Just the thought of it darkens a little bit as you can once again feel like the overwhelming presence distantly of Vale himself.
I I think Glad in between playing keys takes one hand and dabs his eye a tear away.
Very nice.
Thank you all.
I
Sensing
did.
just a bit of the emotion of it. Um, Milgar will help in the performance, not in a musical way, but the only way he knows how to. And he will sit cross-legged on the ground right in front of the steps, and he will lightly tap his axe onto the ground, and his guarded land will go up, but instead of difficult terrain, it will be the most beautiful thing he can think of, and that will be a storm that will be softly rustling towards Galad's music.
I love that. What kind of check do you think that is?
Nature.
Nature.
Yeah, and the
You
Feywild.
worried me when you said the one thing you knew.
There have been storms in your adventure so far, haven't there? There was the ridiculous blizzard of the far north, but there was also a long time ago, before your arrival, Milgar, a story that they all knew, and that was a horrific beast out in the middle of the ocean that was the very first time they all managed to actually come together. And your arrival in the Feywild, or in the far north rather, filled a void for a lot of them that maybe they didn't even realize at the time that they had. And just like with Galad's song, I don't think he was expecting a big dumb bugbear to be able to contribute, but it did fill a void in the song that he didn't realize was there.
I think Galad sits up straighter as he continues playing, and he scooches over on the seat and pats the seat next to him and says, "Saigar, would you be my guest?" And I'll conjure up some sheet music for an opera.
I think Kyvius was in the middle of something but didn't roll.
Yes, I interrupted him and I apologized. Felt so bad.
I was just enjoying everything that was happening. I didn't even notice. I just created a chorus behind him to act as backup singers.
Oh,
If you'd like me
nice.
to roll anything for that, but
I would love a roll.
I'm assuming that's an Arcana as well.
Yeah. And Kyvius, why are you here?
Ooh.
I'm
Got the most
here
views of all of
because
us.
I'm here because for the longest time, and not even the longest time, but it's felt like the longest time, something has been missing. Something really and truly important. And I don't know why it's so important. In fact, my recent discoveries have made me realize it's not important for the reasons I thought it was, but it didn't make it feel any less important. So the short answer is I don't know why I'm here, but I have to be here because I somehow have faith that this is the most important thing that I could be doing. That's a terrible roll for me.
That is a fail.
Yeah.
This last one, this is actually a split. I need Eerie to succeed on a check. There is something missing in the song, Eerie, and even though you do your very best to sort of like help point out the success for Galadriel, it's not quite enough. Is there any way that you are able to contribute as you kind of feel like the song that he is playing, the arrival for all of you, the set, the intentions that you have with the Feywild being communicated out, what could very well be the difference between a hostile reception and a welcome one?
Oh, just also, as we're saying this, Erie's ability allows Galad to re-roll with the bonus, not just add it, if that was important. For your check.
That actually is important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a real
It's not
plus
a plus 7.
Oh.
It's a re-roll with a plus
Oh.
7.
My
So I should-
apologies.
Should I
And you
roll
can
dex
choose
again?
either.
Would you mind?
So 20.
Still a failure.
Okay.
I only got plus 6 to dex.
Only.
Would this
Oh.
could this be considered an attack roll of some kind, Steel?
No.
So that you can't counter shot the piano.
It It would be hard for anybody to make it because it's a raw skill check. not
Yeah,
an
it
ability.
is extremely difficult.
No,
Yeah.
Cup.
So
Oh,
does-
we're fighting the song now.
Does Erie still have one more check?
Yeah,
Here he has
I have something. Well, just looking back at all our past adventures and just everything we've done, all the things we've been through, could I just try and flash up little images of everything just floating through the air?
Like what's
Show
on
what
the
we've
screen.
been through. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
I would love that. There we go.
Literally
Arcana?
recounting the history.
What's the
Y-
fucking
your
DC?
call.
It's 24 Arcana.
I think he could use. I think he was trying to history it.
Oh,
I-
history.
I mean, I'll do history. This is probably Arcana, but I'll do history if that's what you want.
Yeah,
History,
I'd love.
it. that-
history just sounds neater thematically.
I completely agree. It'd be a lower DC as well for 22.
Hell yeah.
Well, what do you fuck right off? Collectively, with all of you working towards that, it almost feels like the surroundings begin to shift and change. And with your positive intentions spreading out throughout the Feywild, all at once the world around you begins to shift and change. And you can just so clearly feel that the portal that you had passed basically on the way here that would take you directly into Cendriane just lights up with just a beautiful, vibrant, glowing light. And as it does so, the light just explodes into the building itself. The debris everywhere doesn't magically fix itself, but you do look around and realize that things here are actually as bright and vibrant as you were expecting from the Feywild. It was a good song. And following Galadriel again, just hopping back out of the building itself and towards the a nearby little offshoot, you stand now collectively before a portal that you know at last, after singing and dancing and riddle games and just the most bullshit, will finally take you once and for all to the City of Splendors.
Well, onward to Mithrandrain then. Galad?
He
Neither
wipes a
way,
couple
guys.
more tears out of his eye and says, "Let us try this one more time. Let me introduce you to Mithrandain."
And you once again step through, hopefully for the last time.
This.
Wait,
Is
is that
that
a
what you
labyrinth
expect?
poster?
That is totally a labyrinth poster.
This was not what you're expecting, Galad.
You find yourself in the basement of one of your summer houses, Galadriel. Again, it's been quite some time since you've been here, so as is not uncommon for the Feywild, you can hear the sounds of just ridiculous raucous partying as the Seelie far above are just have occupied your house, are in incredible celebration. You can hear the sound of bottles of champagne being uncorked and people shouting things in just every possible foreign language. You can hear the sounds of ribbits and strange creatures moving around, and it's a little embarrassing that again one of your summer houses has been used so crudely. But again, you at least know that you're in the right place.
You sure have some interesting decorating tastes.
A skull? Really? In my house? I need you all to blindfold yourselves and we will march upstairs.
Yeah, sure, we'll do right
yeah,
that.
yeah. I'll keep my eyes closed the whole time.
That poster looks like how I was dancing.
Here he closes his eyes.
I'm actually going to take the skull.
Yeah, you pocket what looks like a small little pixie skull. And you all again pop up upstairs just to experience what waits before you, and it is so much worse than you were expecting, Galadriel. There are these hideous, disgusting, unseelie statues that have been dragged out into basically your front feasting hall. There are marionette spiders scurrying around on the walls and the rooftop, rapidly just creating like a set, like seeing you just creating a rapid set of clothing for one of your guests who is not dressed for the occasion. There are living candles dancing around. There are flames exposed. And of course, there's some naked nymphs and stuff too, but that's not nearly as scandalous. And of course, the Duke himself, one of your arch nemesis, lies casually not too far off the banquet table as well. But it is jam-packed with Fae, and you can hear outside, again, that it sounds like you are deep in the heart of the city itself. As always, less than probably a block and a half away from the Grand Vestibule and the Grand Cathedral, where Coralon often spends his days.
The leprechaun that replaced me as the Mora's like general guys here.
Sorry, can you one more time?
Did you say that leprechaun that beat or that I got knocked out by in the Mora's tower is here?
Oh, you know what? That is a good example of like an arch rival, but no, that is not the one that I was thinking of.
Okay.
Obviously, you see your rival from a distance, but the rest of them do not. Karato.
This is unforgivable. Out!
All of the Fae like just freeze and turn and look at you in just like absolute horror. And with this, I need you to walk over to Karato, your arch rival, and address him directly. That is him, all right. As you make your way over to the banquet hall table itself, past the beautiful stag who sits there, you watch as, in a drunken stupor, as he always is, Karato himself slowly begins to raise his arms and legs up into the air and begins to slowly pull himself up.
Wait, is it the one on the ground?
Capoto!
I hate it.
No!
You have crossed a line too far.
Did anybody else think that he was addressing the antlered figure before?
Uh-huh.
And
General Galadriel, you've returned earlier than expected.
You should expect me at all times.
You should expect that I would be expecting you.
Blast, he's right. Even so,
I hope you've liked the redecorating I've done.
Do not call these decorations. This is vandalism.
I kind of like it, Glad.
Hush.
Saigar, you've always been a fan of tacky things.
And no less than you deserve, General, having been evicted of your post. I am tired of the respect that you are still shown. And he curls up into a ball and slowly rolls towards you. We settle this here and now.
It is about time.
Galadriel, faced down with your arch rival, your arch nemesis now, with the Fae observing you. What do you do?
Grant Melgar a basic attack.
I was gonna kick him over to Melkar.
Do it.
As he's still in ball form, I soccer jostle him and then kick him over to Melgar.
Can you give me an athletics check?
Yes. 31.
Oh my god.
Get this
Capoto.
bitch the fuck out of here.
Capoto shout, "How dare you treat the Duke of Root Vegetables and he who grants succor to those threatened by sticks like this? Would I?" And he flies over to you, Melgar.
Can I make an what check would I do? Because my only question is he worthy?
I mean, does it matter? There's a fucking carrot flying towards your head.
Destroy him!
Okay.
No, you're fine. Oh.
You slice the carrot in half in midair, and just the upper torso just like collapses onto the ground itself. Curse you, Galadriel, my one weakness!
What is that, being cut?
You've won this round, but this is not over!
Oh. Because I think my friend Saigar will saute you in just a few moments.
Actually, that does sound really delicious, Glad.
And thus, I die. Galadriel, no doubt the Feywild will hear of this. You have slain Capoto himself. And with the falling of the Duke of Root Vegetables, you know that his title is up in the air for grabs. Kyvius, you know this as well, but you hate it. Instinctively, you know this.
And again, let's say that Galad looks over at Kyvius, and Kyvius just goes,
He would make a far better Duke than he ever did.
Milgar, you get slapped on the tush by a bit of ivy whipped from a nearby nymph.
the protection from sticks.
Oh no!
The protection from sticks things maybe, but root vegetables have so many carbohydrates.
Melgar buries his axe into a nearby nymph.
Oh my god,
And
Melgar!
the rest of the Fae get the fucking message and just begin to pour out towards the door as rapidly as possible.
Wait, wouldn't anyone else like to be a chiffonade for my friend Melgar?
The answer is definitely fucking no. Every single living creature, including this one bird-like one, just begins to bail out towards the door.
That
And-
second one's on me. I don't think she wanted to fight.
No, it's okay. I got you all riled up.
I'm pretty sure she was just saying hello.
One of the mandragores, make her way out the door, goes, "Great party! Thanks for inviting us, Galad."
Thank you. Get out. And I think Galad would do 2 quick claps and revert as best he can the decorations that have been
100
strewn about.
It's awful. And just like again with the force of your will and the command of your station alone, it begins to once again like shape itself the way that it should be.
Can I
Not-
get the tacky outfit?
Yeah, man. Fucking, you can grab it.
It hurts your eyes. Warren wants to wear it.
I want to look at it, man.
It's real nasty, and I will feel that.
Good.
I imagine that like Galad doesn't let you fucking stick around here too long. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, let us be out of this.
Wait. there
Oh
was
wait,
Dead.
before
dead
we
guy.
go,
Yeah,
Before
Yeah,
we
he
go,
partied too hard.
Oh, he just
there was
partied
a
too
corpse-
hard.
There was a corpse and an organ there.
yes. But before we go, I feel like I ignore the advice of our pussy friend at my own peril. And so I will not claim all of his title. But henceforth, my friends, you may refer to me as Kyvius, he who grants succor to those threatened by sticks.
And the root
Noble
vegetables
post.
part, right? That comes with it.
Sorry, what'd you say?
The root vegetables?
Well,
That part's attached.
I would feel bad claiming a dukedom.
You know, you're kind of right. Right? Like, we try and protect people threatened by
Threatened
sticks.
by sticks, yes. There we are.
Hey,
Oh my god, I love these duds. Saigar?
I'm already half spider at this point.
I shake a couple spiders out of it and hand it over. I take it from Warren's hands and hand it over.
You know, this means that you can always go anywhere you want drunk, and I don't know if anyone should have that power.
Well, it might help, yeah, and I trail off.
'Tis also a rather large responsibility.
The city is insane. I'm going to skip the description because we are 10 minutes away from the end of the game session. But you are rubbing shoulders with every possible manner of strange fey oddity that you can begin to conjure with your mind's eye. Before you appears to be a tree that is, like, again, ancient, but still somehow yet one of the youngest that you've ever seen. And in its golden boughs are dozens of small little, like, apartment complexes that are all collectively filled with hundreds of little pixies. You've never seen baby pixies before. In fact, you've never really even wondered too much about the reproductive cycle of Eerie species. But there is nothing more adorable than you having to watch a bunch of tiny little humanoid creatures with their baby little wings just learning to fly for the very first time as their parents presumably help guide the pixies out of the nest, which really do look like little beehives for the very first time. A couple of like small gremlins shuffle past you. A cyclops bumps into Warren's shoulder, and from your current position, you can even clearly see what is just built into one of the trees that just sort of stretches up into infinity. What looks like a staircase that begins to sort of just unravel. And for a moment, you could swear that the stairs made the exact same message that you saw in the root bark, which very clearly in Elven just says you are cordially invited. This is Mithrin Dane.
God, that's a lot of
Until this
sprites.
point, Melgar just thought Eerie was a baby.
Hi, I am baby.
Eerie, I didn't know you were part B.
You didn't ask. Don't worry about it.
I didn't.
The weird thing is that absolutely everything here is organic. You watch people who that you can tell that they are like more scientist and mage than gardener, who are carefully taking soil samples and then just sort of rebuilding paths by coaxing them not only with magic, but also like basically resplicing the DNA of the ground itself that you walk on to better want to grow and evolve to be a different kind of pathway. It is intense to observe, to say the very least. But again, you are not far now.
And are these are all well, I mean the most of them, are they all Eladrin walking around?
The vast majority, but there's also like a whole bunch here that have very clearly embraced their unseelie side. And there's a whole bunch that like used to be Elven or Eladrin, but have sort of like let the Fey transformations take over them. And now they are strange horned creatures, or malicious-looking devils or imps, or even like druid dryad-esque wood creatures.
I could get lost in this for probably the rest of my lifespan and beyond, but we should go right?
Also, Melgar, it is noteworthy that the trees here look fucking delicious. Like, you can't tell if it's just you hallucinating things, but like you've always kind of assumed that like elves would be, you know, hippy dippy vegans or whatever, living with nature. Nah, you're pretty sure these trees are growing like big haunches of meat.
Is that what those are?
On first sight of that, Melgar will attempt to try to grab a bite of these trees.
The tree screams as you bite into it, and like tries to like wrest away from you, but it is delicious.
Thank you.
Did you ask permission before doing that, Melgar?
Bloody sap just pouring down his chin into his beard.
Nope.
Please ask first.
Can I continue eating this?
Well, I'd suggest you apologize first.
I apologize.
it without asking.
Asking who?
The tree
Well, the
that you
tree,
just
of
took a
course.
bite out of.
All right, let's go. This Cyclops is mean mugging me, and I'm gonna fight him if we don't go.
I'm not sorry for him.
I know you would.
You make your way up again, just the beautiful steps up into the manor house properly. And again, we don't have fucking time for me to do maps like this, but I just want to fucking do it so I can show you the cool thing that took me a goddamn hour to do.
Black,
So that
black
we can.
screen.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! So that we can bounce out of this map in all of 10 seconds. But when you step into, again, just like what you know to be the enormous building that houses Corlon and his wife Sayanine, it feels warm and inviting, and the beautiful, vibrant blue lights just shimmer and gleam like they recognize you, Galadriel. And again, here everything as well is organic. The carpet itself bristles under your feet. The lights themselves look like they have been physically grown. Even like the walls and the architecture are all very carefully like created, as is everything in the city. And this, for the very first time, feels like the most alien place you've all been.
The most alien because it looks so normal?
It's somewhere between like incredibly high tech and also everything sort of
Gotcha.
like pulses and moves and shies away from you or leans into you, and everything is warm.
What's wrong, Warren?
I just nervous.
Can I feel Sayanine's presence as well?
Not currently, no. You know that she spends most of her time out in the city proper, like mingling with the people. And because Coralon wanted to sort of like be here for you specifically, it sounds like it's just him today. It just feels like his presence, which nobody else has detected, other than the fact that they've sort of just felt that weird, warm, comforting, but you feel is just radiating just above.
Okay,
On your lead, Galad.
of course. I know I've said this a few times now, and we've had a couple of hiccups, but I will be presenting Corlon to you all. And I start to march forward.
And I suppose we'd follow.
When you get
I'll
about
set expectation to 8.
when you get about half there is just a tiny little off balcony that lets you sort of like look out over onto the city itself, and you just have a moment where you sort of glance out, and instead of the city that you were expecting to see, you realize that you're now well above the tree line, and from here you can see the leaves have become either that sort of crystalline yellow or crystalline silver and opaque. But also, now that you are sort of above the actual dome itself, you can kind of see out over into the rest of the world properly. And it's strange because what you were not expecting to see is a vast, barren desert stretching out for just as far infinity as possible. And like a distant cloud layer, but mostly it's just pure desert.
I didn't know the Feywild had deserts.
It doesn't.
It does not.
Then where are we?
We are in the place that is giving me even more motivation to destroy the car.
Do you think they are the ones
This
that...
time, it's personal.
And I imagine, like, with that, you spin around on your heels and march back into the building itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fucking what a line. For the rest of you, there are blood red moxia crystals growing out of every surface. And the grapevines, also now bright red, are climbing all the way to the highest apex of the building.
Is this their home plane?
creeping into the Feywild? How is that possible?
I could understand why it'd be personal.
I suppose we're probably going to someone who could give us the answer to that.
Is that
That-
kind of thing like possible steel? Like the elemental plane creeping into the Prime or the Shadowfell or the Feywild?
I mean, you don't know off the top of your head right now, although certainly I think a check for that would be appropriate at the start of next game session, but that feels like the only real explanation for this. I mean, you've heard the Feywild is all about like showing you what you need to see and adapting to the material plane, but it's hard to imagine that just the fact that there is an ever-growing desert in the material plane on one tiny little island would affect the Feywild so profoundly. Again, it stretches off into infinity. And finally, you all step back in the building and climb up to the highest point. And just to set the scene a little bit, it ends extremely abruptly. You are once again surrounded by the same kind of opaque leaves, all of them very, very red. And now here you can't even see the desert. It is just just the strangest autumn sunrise. And before you, birds chirping and like laying nests in just tiny little pillars that just go nowhere. And before you is nothing except a tiny little throne. Well, if you can call it a throne, it's really just like a really ornate chair. Again, there are big red moxia crystals growing everywhere here. And it feels like the building itself, again, is organic because it just sort of ends in stone and earth. And at the highest point, there is, in fact, somebody waiting for you. He stands about 9.5 feet tall, and he is clad in gleaming perfect armor. Well, I say he. It's fairly tough to tell the gender of this individual. You imagine that this must be Coralon, but his features are so perfect and pristine that it genuinely just takes your breath away. You've never looked directly upon a god before, and you're not sure if you're doing it now, but it's the closest thing that you can possibly imagine to one. And with this beautiful green cloak swirling around himself in an unforeseen breeze, he slowly turns to look at all of you and very simply says, "You dare possess straight legs and don steel before the Morning Lord, the architect of blood and seed, the author of culture?"
Gulp!
I was too captivated, I didn't even hear what he said.
Do you know Cord?
Oh my god.
Just want to make sure there was no reply from Hewitt before I continue.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were gonna repeat what you said for Wild or not.
Oh, I'm sorry. He says, "You dare possess straight legs and don steel before the Morning Lord, the architect of blood and seed, the author of culture?" And he draws his blade, and it is perfect.
Oh, your perfectness, your grace, your beauteous Coriolan. I apologize for the steel.
"Oh," he says, and immediately puts the sword away. "Sorry about that. I didn't see you there, gal pal. What took you so long?"
I am, as always, breath stripped at the sight of you. May I please introduce the Leviathan Slayers, the founders of Dokasur and therefore Sendriane, and my very good friends.
He gives you all like a stern look and then face softens and simply says, "Well, hey guys, what's good? And I'll see you guys next week."
Oh, quickly, before you forget.
Yeah.
all our legacy that you said you were going to give us.
Yes,
that
you
we
guys all
haven't-
get
yes.
3 points of legacy. Warren
Thank
can
you.
get less if you would like.
Gonna keep offering me that one.
Warren can. Why does Warren get less if he would like?
Bushy asks why.
No,
I don't know.
Because he hasn't given it to us in like 6 months.
I see.
No. Why Warren can choose not to take it?
Oh, I don't know. That's
After-
weird.
He's muted.
Warren's
After
my
the first,
favorite.
That's
after the
fine.
first time I was like, hey, Raven Queen, we're cool. I got that offer the next time I got Legacy, and I've never known what would happen. You know what? I'll give one.
Okay.
I just want to have put one in so that by the end of the game I can know that nothing happened.
Okay.
I want to put one in the pot.
Then you gain 2 legacy. Everyone else gets 3. And that is because I have been you guys have been doing some fucking world-breaking shit.
So, just a quick question. I know the session's over, but the crystals were growing up the sides from the sand, and they're here now too, or is this a part of? Like, is this an incursion? Does this look like it belongs here?
It definitely doesn't look like it belongs here. It is so jarringly different than everything else. You know the Moxie crystals to mostly just be like collected source of Residium, and that's weird for the Feywild where everything is Residium, everything is magic. The fact that there are blood red crimson stones growing off of these buildings does not seem like the style or the architecture anywhere else, nor does it sort of match the color scheme of the creator.
That
Figured.
would
Okay,
explain
cool.
why when Coralon contacted us, it seemed sort of like it was important. Not like he was worried, but like something was wrong. If I remember that right.
Yeah. Also, just so you know, this is just for you, Kaz. He does have combat stats.
Fuck off, Kaz. Don't try and kill my god.
Hey guys, if we're trying to figure out how to ditch Melgar, I've got a quick strat.
Leave him here, and unless he crits every single attack, he loses.
You say that.
Actually, wait. I don't know Steel's rules, but you know what, Melgar? You go ahead and try and hurt him. You do you.
It all depends if my weapon's divine.
No.
Oh, is that the
that
ruling
won't
for
matter.
divine weapons?
Well, the thing is, all the gods usually have a rule where any creature below level 20 can't do anything damaging to them.
Oh,
They're
really?
just immune to it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
In Steel's
that's
game, it'd probably be a legacy check. Luck.
listen. But Long Gambit, if he wins, Cord will probably fight him, and that's a reward in of itself.
I forgot to mention it, but like he doesn't actually speak himself, like his mouth never moves, but rather the voice comes from like everywhere, like the trees talk, the birds talk, the rainbow behind him talks, and you can hear the chorus of voices of like every Aladdin speaking through him. And he like looking at him, he's like looking at like an old film kind of grainy TV where the picture skips and blurs a little bit. Thank you very much for that. But he never speaks personally, even though you know that he is here and like his presence is here. There's no facial shift other than smiles or frowns. That's it. I hope that everybody is going to be okay next week if it's going to be a super combat heavy one.
Yep,
Yes.
fighting God.
Yeah, definitely fighting Coralon. 100%.
And Galad in that case.
Hey, listen. If we show up and he's like, we need your help, brave heroes, go kill things. You have picked the right people. Please send us on more missions. So simple.
Well, Feywild
Please,
deals in bargains.
Give us direction.
I will trade payment for stories of Cord.
But Coralon wouldn't even give them to you like in a cool way. He'd be like, yeah, you know, like one time I was chilling with Cord, he told me he could bench like this much, and like he did. Didn't think he would.
Oh
but...
my god. Get out.
While I say that, Melgar would be on the edge of his seat.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly.
Can you link that to the group?
What?
The thing you sent me.
Oh,
Because I forgot the fucking date that I sent that to you.
yeah. I can't believe my brain remembered it. When I saw the map, I dug through my messages because I was like, I know I've seen this. This is how long Steel thinks of things in advance.
Ah,
2018.
This isn't a spoiler.
It's not. That could be fucking anywhere, and it's very unlikely that you would have ever come here.
2
And or
years
guessed
ago.
it was the Feywild.
Almost 2 years ago.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Okay,
really
I'm gonna go
good.
collapse. Goodbye.
Good night,
Bye,
Steel.
have a
Thank
good
you.
Good
night.
night, everybody.
Thanks for
this was
playing
so
my
much
Dungeons
fun.
and Dragon. Oh, fucking,
yeah,
I
it's
forgot.
pretty okay,
Hey,
I guess.
hey, Cass, you get another point for the fucking axe for killing the carrot. For killing
Oh
Karato.
my god.
You don't
Goodbye.
need any more points.
No, he doesn't.
I'm at
I'm
32
scared.
strength.
I'm scared too. Now I am scared for Coralon. See you
I don't
guys.
think you can actually fail to cut the planet in half.
Your bonus
Oh,
to hit
I
is
was already
starting to
secured
get
on that.
your bonus to hit is starting to get close to higher than my AC.
Night. Staying for what?